It is your Wednesday night sports delight, the platform sports talk show. I am your boy Smooth. Thank y'all for tuning in right now. I see people come on in. Let's go. We want to see as many people as possible tuned in to your Wednesday night sports delight. Once again, thank you very much, y'all, for showing us love. 5 years running consistently every Wednesday night. So cheers to y'all for showing us love as we are ready for another jam-packed show on this Wednesday. And without any further ado, let's go ahead and bring in the crew right now. She has her little one with her. So for those listening on Hot 365 Radio, y'all hear some sound effects. No, it's the real deal, baby. It's the real deal. She has the little one Sanaa with her. She's the host of Ladies Night. Bunny, what's happening?
Happy Hump Day, everyone. Say
Hump day.
hey. All right, bring the rest of the crew in.
Our smallest co-host, Naya, is here once again. So how y'all doing so far?
Hey, it's Hump Day. I'm happy to be getting over this hump. I'm glad we're not melting.
Man.
Ooh.
Hey, on the song that what's that fantasy with Ludacris, that chocolate make you melt. So man, with this 100 and something degrees, it's not no joke. But hold on tight, Bunny. Up next, she used to be just known for baseball and soccer, but she knows all the sports in the world now. She's our sports guru for the Sports Talk Show, represented from the Boondocks, Joe.
Hey guys, happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday to you. She is ready to rock and roll. And then last but not least, this brother here from the Lou went to Normandy High School. Former professional wrestler, currently resides in Orlando, Florida. But now, he is none other than T-Bone Funk. What's going on, brother?
Former. Let's keep former in there because there's no way in this day and age I'm about to hop in there myself.
Sure, you could. You can do it for old time's sake. If John Cena didn't back out there in the ring, how about you? I tell you.
Let me tell you. I was just up at the wrestling school this past week. I've seen some people getting, learn some things, and I looked at somebody else who was there with me, and I said, "You want to do this again?" And I can't do it. These people out here, it's like with everybody, they are way more athletic, way more energetic, and now my days are past. Glad to be here with y'all today.
And the people agree with T-Bone. Now I was playing. But once again, thank y'all for tuning in to your Wednesday night sports delight. And shouts out to our favorite number one fan, Miss Williams. Good evening to you, Miss Williams. Thanks for tuning in once again. Bunny got her hands full, y'all. I love it. Real quick,
hey, Miss Williams.
Real quick on the plug. Shouts out to once again our listeners on Hot 365 Radio. For those who don't know about it, Hot 365 Radio will be on from 7 to 9 p.m. Central Standard Time each and every Wednesday night. So no matter if it's the Man Cave, Ladies Night, Platform Sports Talk Show, we on there. Crystal clear, very perfect sound quality. You can check them out on the app. Just put in Hot 365 Radio. You got Android or Apple. It's all good. Or go online to hot365radio.com and you will be all good. And then T-Bone, last week you did such an incredible job promoting the show. So do it again real quick.
But every time we hear, we're not just here just to be here. We want people to be here for the long run. The best way to be here for the long run is to go ahead and subscribe on YouTube. We are trying to get to 500 likes, and the only way we can do that is if you go ahead and subscribe. So, tell your friend, tell your mom, tell your brother, your neighbor, tell everybody on the block. The Platform Sports Talk Show. You got the Man Cave. You got Ladies Night. You got us all. We here every Wednesday night. So go ahead and subscribe to YouTube, to our YouTube channel, and you will get all these programs. And by the way, I think there's some information that Bunny may have as far as how you can find out even faster when we're on the air.
So that means, Bunny, for people on YouTube, they can subscribe and click on that
bell, baby.
Because anytime we go live, Joe, you
will be notified. All of y'all, everyone that T-Bone was talking about, your mom, your neighbors, everyone.
Everyone's okay. We from the Lou. Everyone's. Got a question already from Miss Williams. She says, T-Bone, did you see that NWA is hosting Wrestling at the Chase this August?
I didn't see that. I know that they did it last year. They did a tournament out there. So, you know, glad to see the Wrestling at the Chase is back. You know, for me as a kid, it was something that I always heard about growing up. Didn't get to see actually any of it on TV in real time because they had just went away, like right before I actually was able to start watching or able to comprehend. But you know, be glad to see it. Good to hear the NWA is doing some things, especially in St. Louis.
And then plus, I believe tonight AEW is at the Shafit, so whole lot of wrestling going on right now here in the Lou. So you know, we getting at that pub, man. You know, so it feels real good. Ms. Williams says, I went to one match when her son was still a baby.
Whew, wish I had that opportunity back
That's
then.
About 40 years ago.
Your son the same age as me. Got it.
Yeah, he is.
Okay, that
would have been a good period of time right there. If we're talking about, you know, 82 or so, like, you know, would have been able to see some Von Erichs, Ted DiBiase. You know, you would have been able to see a bunch of people out there, a bunch of recognizable names coming through that through at that time. Harley Race, of course, but you know, that's a time I like to think about, but never actually got to see him live in person.
Yeah, so her son Ed, he's an 81 baby, and so he's 1 month older than me. So shouts out to him, and she says yes, Andre the Giant was there. Wow, that's incredible, Andre the freaking Giant. So once again, thank you for tuning in. Get them shares going, them likes, all of the good stuff. T-Bone came with the incredible promotion. I wonder why. You know, former wrestler, he just got it in his blood. But thank you, T-Bone, for the great pub right there. Let's get right into it, peoples. Y'all know what it is on your Wednesday night Sports Delight. The first topic. You now have my attention. What sports stories has your attention? Bunny, let's go and start with you right now.
I'm going to start with me when I got this hands full with this Butterball right here. So what has our attention, Butterball? What were we watching yesterday? We was like, oh, he was this close. St. Louis Cardinals pitch. Remember watching the Cardinals game? Nicholas? Yeah, almost had that no-hitter. Didn't realize the Cardinals haven't had a pitcher with a no-hitter since 2001. I'm like,
Bud Smith.
Thank you. Child, that has my attention. I didn't know that it was since 2001, 20 years ago. But shout out to him, almost close. Shout out to the Cardinals, though, getting that number 1 position in the division, though. Pound those W's. Woohoo!
You know, it's amazing you brought that up because last night, and Joe, you can probably relate to it when I say this, but last night was probably the most devastating 9-1 victory I've ever experienced in my life. And I have a clip here. I was kind of preparing for this moment. So I want to go ahead and show this video last night, everyone. And this is the call. Now, of course, Danny Mac, BT, you know, they own Valley Sports Midwest. So they had to keep it professional. So this is how it went down last night. Let's listen in and view everything as well.
This right here. The 2-2 pitch. Fly ball into center. Bader going back, over his head. It's a clean hit. It's a ground rule double. And Cal Mitchell breaks up the no-hitter. That's right.
All right. So, everyone, that was the professional Dan McLaughlin and BT last night. Then I thought about it. I said, if Dan McLaughlin and BT didn't have to be so professional, I wonder how it would sound if they really used how they really felt. So let's play it again, and I'm gonna do something a little bit different. Here we go. Michaelis with the pitch. 2-2, 2 outs. He hits it. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute. Here we go. 2-2 pitch. He hits it as deep in the field. Bader, he gets it, and it's over his head. And damn it, we almost had it. No. Why? BT, why does it always have to happen to St. Louis? We almost had it. Oh, my God. Why did it have to happen to us again? Okay, there we go. That was it, y'all. I have a feeling that's what they want to say for real or something like that. Joe?
Yeah, so we all know I have my internet problems, but for the 9th inning, we're like, let's turn on hotspot and see if we can get it on our TV. And we did, we got to watch the last 3 outs. And I thought it was a routine fly ball. And I got up on my bed. I was about to get all excited, and I just went. And this is a family show, so I don't want to curse, but I cursed when it happened, and afterwards, I just kept saying "Gosh, damn!" I was like, "That I really wanted that one. Man. I really wanted it." I remember being upset when Waka, was right there.
Yep.
But I don't remember all my emotions, because this just happened yesterday. But Waka, that one was different because it hit off his glove. If he and you can't not as a pitcher. It's just a reaction, he went to go put his glove up, and that's what caused it. But yeah, I was cussing a little bit here and there at home, but it was a good game, like you said. It was a sad 9-1 win, but what do? You got the W, and we're 2.5 up on the Brewers, so that's all you can really ask for.
And then, like you said, how you brought up the Walker thing, it just feels like they're just St. Louis deserves, first of all, St. Louis deserves to experience at Busch Stadium a no-hit. Of all the places, we deserve to see something like this. And we keep on getting robbed. It's always something crazy that has to happen. It'd be different.
Who is Kyle Mitchell?
It'll be different if it was right. If it was the first batter and he got a base hit in the 9th inning. Okay, I'm cool. But it had to be the 2 outs. The count was 2-2. He only needed one more strike, and then that happened. That's so St. Louis of how we had to endure things. Because kind of how the Blues lost against the Avalanche 2 weeks ago. It was right there in the last 2 seconds of the game or whatever it was, Joe. The Colorado scored, and boom, into the season. There's certain heartbreaks that happen with St. Louis teams.
Yeah, but St. Louis sports have a lot of championships too, so I guess we can't pick and choose what we want.
That's what I'm about to say. I'm because we did 2 strikes bottom of the 9th, and we would have been home. Instead, we got extra innings. They got a World Series with that too. So
yeah, so
it goes both ways in the Cardinals' favor.
That's true.
Yeah, we've experienced a lot of good things here in St. Louis. Obviously, it'd been cool to see it, but low notes are hard. As dumb as that sounds, and a lot of baseball teams made it look really easy last year because there was about 10 of them. They are hard to do.
Yeah. T-Bone, your thoughts?
Whew, that was tough just watching it, because it was if you hadn't seen it before, you just knew he was going to catch that ball right then and there, and it just did not go that way. And then you see it bounce into the stands, and it's what just happened? What just happened? We were right there. We're right there. The good thing, though, is while that did happen, the end result was Cardinals won. So they're in a good position right now. So, gotta take what you can get.
Yeah, definitely. So definitely shouts out to Miles Michaelis. Incredible job. And okay, Bunny is back. So Bunny, your thoughts about last night?
Regarding the actual game and not the no-hitter portion that we didn't get, or both?
Oh, everything.
Okay. So overall, game very well. The Cardinals look this is a squad. Even though the Buccos are, of course, sub 500 team, but this is a squad I definitely could see doing a good playoff run. Our defense coming together. Of course, our offense are alive. Now, I know just a little over a week ago we were singing a different tune, but like I, posted in the chat, I said I look up and I realized how close we were in the division. Now we took over the Roku, and I only saw it's getting better. Also, I mentioned about Flaherty is supposed to be coming back soon, hopefully. But
He's pitching tonight, and right now he ain't looking good.
And that's what I said. Does it look like Michael's going to be our ace now? I mean, Wayno has it by default, but he's truly not our ace. But it's just like a unofficial title. We still give him from all the years he got with us. But
I'd still give him the ace title for sure.
And that's what I'm thinking. I was like, he's feeling like, and this was not just his only good album this season, though. It's not like, it's just a one-off. He's actually been pretty consistent. Not saying he's got all these wins to back it up. It's not always his fault either during this season, but.
No, Miles has been really good. I'm saying Wayno's still my ace. Like, it's not just because he's been here for 20 years. He's still your best pitcher. He still has a 2-something ERA. He still gives you 6 to 7 innings every single time he goes out there. If if we have Dakota go out there and barely do anything and, give us no innings or anything like that, Wayno goes out there knowing our bullpen's depleted and he gives you 7 innings. Like, that's what an ace is. So he's always going to be that until he's gone.
I say he's our ace, definitely playoffs. But last season, with the 2021, so the bubble or the no fans was 2020. He was a little shaky when we had no fans, but last year was okay. I still say overall, of course, he's our ace, but for the last few seasons, I wouldn't give him that by default only, not earning it. There's nothing wrong with it. Again, he has a lot of mileage on that arm, but as of now, I think y'all boy, I mispronounced his name, Michaelis. Michaelis is like, give me this ball, I'm the ace, but we'll see. It's still kind of early. I always say the Cardinals team that really shows up is after the All-Star break, so we shall see.
I don't know, y'all. This team tonight, I don't know who this team is because we playing like the Pittsburgh Pirates right now. We made this 2 errors in a row on bunt plays. I don't know what's happening with this team in the defense right now. I think we're down 3-0 in the bottom. Sorry, top of the second right now.
I will say that whenever we got the information of Flaherty starting today, I told Brendan I didn't like that.
Me neither.
I think he should have had his last rehab start. I don't care that we're playing the Pirates and they're pretty much a AAA team to begin with. It doesn't he can't locate anything. And I just tweeted he's his own worst enemy. He's always so cocky and and all this Joker talk on Twitter and he's awesome and this and that. He's gonna get paid big money and he goes out there and he sucks ass. Sorry, but what the hell is this?
That's exactly what I said in the chat. I did not like that move. He should have just went on and pitched again in Memphis and let the coaching, the coaches and doctors decide his fate, not Jack Flaherty. This is exactly what I mean. You see it right now. Like you said, he doesn't have the control. He's throwing pitches he's throwing balls, except for throwing the first base, he's going to the outfield. I mean, it's just ridiculous right now. He should have been in Memphis, but, hey. Like what Bunny says, who are we?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not I would like to 4-game sweep them,
right.
But I mean, it's still a successful homestand. I'm not gonna be worried about if we lose this game, but we do have a tough schedule coming up. But either way, I'm not worried about it. We lose a game, we lose a freaking game. It's whatever. But I just don't like how Flaherty pretty much talked his way. He's not a long veteran. He's a veteran, but he's not that guy. Wayno and Yanni can do that. Goldie and Nato can do that. But
exactly.
Jack Flaherty, who's had one good half in his career,
season. That's it. Half season.
Should not be talking to Ali into the front office and forcing his hand so that he can start in the majors. That should not be happening.
Exactly. He has not earned his stripes yet.
There's one more thing. I guess it wasn't about the game. Are we talking about Cardinals in general or just the game yesterday?
Cardinals in general now.
Because of the bats that went down and the bats that come up. Hey, my daddy and I were talking about this. And it's not night and day, but it has been a big enhancement of Dijon. I heard mispronounce that boy's name. Dijon DeYoung,
D Young.
Paul
D Young.
DeYoung.
hey, I don't see him being in St. Louis anytime soon. He better get comfortable in Memphis. Them young baskets pop it and earned their stripes right now. They are saying we are here. And Yepis, I'm probably mispronounced his name too. What's the other one? Yeah, no, I got it.
Brendan Donovan, Yepes, and Nolan Gorman.
I mean, even if we're playing sub 500 teams, these that come up, man. I'm just saying, this is like, again, the Cardinals a little early showing their true hand, but I'm just saying I like what we have. And these coming from AAA to up here in the major, they have made their marks. It's a small window, but I'm just saying, hey, I believe all that talk y'all talking about DeYoung would need help, this and that. He's gonna be in AAA for a while because it's always somebody. Everybody knows. I think baseball, out of the 4 major sports, to me, baseball is one of the hardest. Once you make it to the majors, to stay there, it's always somebody gunning for your spot. I know in other sports they do it too, but it's so many players in MLB when the farm system that when you lose your spot, it's hard to get it back unless you like a true veteran that got a lot of miles and years. And even then, it doesn't always matter. So, but them boys is good.
And in regards to DeYoung, I did say the other day, watch out for a starting spot. But after I saw Nolan Gorman play defense yesterday, I'm like, Paul DeYoung might be some trade bait. So stay tuned for that.
He's gonna have to. Paul DeYoung's playing really, really good in AAA right now. Yeah, he's got like almost a homer a day in June. You know, like he's playing really good right now. But yeah, Gorman played some great defense from what I saw in the highlights yesterday. He's really quick with turning double plays like we've seen over the weekend. And apparently Tommy Edman might win the Gold Glove at shortstop too. So Tommy Edman, he doesn't get talked about enough, I don't think, by the majors. Like he leads the NL in WAR.
Right.
Tommy Edman. There's a lot of good players in NL, and Tommy Edman's the WAR leader. So that's pretty good.
And as my wife said, shouts out to you, Jamie. She'd be like, Tommy. She loves saying that. T-Bone, what has your attention?
Let's see. What is
exactly?
Let's see. What has my attention? You know, I got to catch a finals game, which is, you know, finally in the season, finally able to catch a game. But you know, the Warriors have my attention. I mean, they were my pick to make it all the way. I thought they would be facing Miami. That didn't quite work out, but looks like the Warriors may be fulfilling, you know, what I originally thought was going to happen, because they showing up and showing the Celtics that the Warriors are the championship team that I thought they were.
I'm pretty sure my wife loves to hear that right now, because she definitely is a Warriors fan. She loves KD wherever he goes, but she definitely loves the Warriors. So I don't know if y'all saw my video on social media, but
yeah, you her and baby girl.
It was a whole party going on after the game. I'm like, oh Lord.
So quick question: so she's a big KD fan. Does she think KD should have stayed with the Warriors?
Oh yeah, she definitely feels that KD should have been on and stayed in Golden State. You know, I'm sure people who watching this stream right now and other sports people, they feel like, you know, KD wanted to have more of that shine by himself since he couldn't get the love that he hoped for in in Golden State, like how Clay and Steph is getting the love, and now he's looking stupid, but that's on him. Joe, what's going on? What has your attention?
So I have one in my brain, but I'm gonna do two of them. They're really quick. First is for my girl Bonnie over there, Matt Carpenter. Matt Carpenter. You know what? For you too, Fred. Matthew Carpenter with the lettuce on his upper lip. This guy is mashing in New York, okay? I think he's got 6 homers in 10 games with the Yankees, which has never been done in New York Yankee history. And I don't know if you guys know this or not, but the Yankees have been around for a very long time.
Hey, real quickly, Fred, it is a whole season ahead. It's only 2 months or 2.5 months of the season, so we shall see.
I'm just saying he's playing good ball on on the best team in baseball right now. You know, he's having fun, and I'm happy as hell for him. I'm so happy for him.
Yeah, and I mean, and Joe, that was actually mine. So you
Yeah,
stole
okay.
mine. I was gonna show him love, but you been on to say his name. I'm like, hey, it's all good. I'm definitely gonna be one
I
that's
hope
gonna
the best
hey,
for him. We didn't get that
yeah,
in the last couple
exactly.
of years here in St. Louis, but
Exactly. And of course, people from St. Louis are gonna wonder, well, how come he couldn't do this in St. Louis? But I'm gonna just say
because
this.
the Cardinals try to change him.
But he also admitted that he wasn't trying to
self-inflicted.
listen to Ali Marmol. He did say that he didn't take it serious until he, got released and he trying to find, his stroke and everything. So he definitely is holding it down, and I would definitely give him love that he found it and he's maximizing the opportunity playing for a team like the Yankees, where you're playing at Yankee Stadium.
Short porch.
We know how that is. Then you playing around guys like Stanton and Judge and other guys, so he has to be pitched. So a lot of good factors, and he's taking all of the advantage that he should. So definitely congrats to him, and hope that when he comes to St. Louis, he'll hold things down and get the love that he deserves from the St. Louis fans. Cause I think they come in August or something like that.
Yeah, it's
So
in August.
yeah, so I plan on being at one of them games. So
Yeah, it'd be cool. I mean, it's the Yankees. When's the last time they've been in St. Louis? But my second one is the Astros today. Twice had an immaculate inning. Twice. Luis Garcia did it to this. I can't remember if it was the 1, 2, 3 batters, and then Phil Maton came on and in the 6th or 7th, and he did it again to the same batters. But that's never been done in Major League history. If you guys don't know what that is, you just strike out all 3 batters on 9 pitches, and that's what happens. So, Astros love.
There it is. Once again, for those watching right now, this is your Wednesday night Sports Delight, the platform sports talk show. Now, let's get right into our very first topic. Everyone should be ready for this. We have a new rivalry, y'all, in golf. We all knew about the PGA Tour and everything, but over the last few weeks now, it's been official that there is a new sheriff in town. Live Golf. It is a league that is being sponsored by the Saudi Arabians, and one of the biggest issues that people are having with this league, especially in regards to the Saudi Arabians, is how they are how I want to say this in regards to
Humanitarian rights.
killing people and doing
Humanitarian rights is.
what I'm saying, a whole lot of this negative stuff in regards to how they treat different religions and everything like that. And so they have a lot of money, and they now have this new league. And just a little snippet of what it's about. It's pretty much 12 teams, 48 players, 54 holes. Now, normally in PGA, you have 4 rounds of tournament play from like Thursday through Sunday, but with Live Golf, it's only three rounds. You have 8 total events. They say that golf finally has a real season. No cuts. So like with the PGA Tour, if you don't make the certain cut after the second day, you can't play on the third and fourth day. With Live Golf, you can keep on playing. They have shotgun start, so it ensures a faster and more exciting pace of play. And then it's pretty much like a team of 3 people. They have their own like logos and stuff like that. Let me see. It will feature 12 teams of 4 players each, and each event will be made up of a different field. Teams to be decided via a draft the week of each event. The team will have an appointed team captain who will select their 3 open team positions via a snake draft format. The captain would be one of the 4 starting players, but also will have the responsibility to set the lineup each week. They choose the scores that will count and act as an off and on course captain for the team. And then, as I said before, teams will have like their own logos and colors and names. So it sounds like it's very gimmicky, and a lot of recent players who have been part of the PGA Tour are now going over to the Live Tour. Guys like Phil Mickelson and Bryce DeChambeau and Dustin Johnson, Sergio Garcia. So there are some guys who have been successful in the past who was now taking that trip over to Live Golf. And the big reason why is because money, Yeah. Where I get that from, T-Bone?
little crime time, little shag
Play
gas
was
birthday
fun,
TV.
baby.
Yeah. So like the events, like the prize purse of each event is like $25 million. The individual is 30 mil and the team is 50 mil. So the money talking right now. And that's why a lot of guys are going over there because of the opportunity to get that bank that they wasn't getting from the PGA Tour. So once again, in PGA Tour recently announced that those players who are now in Live Golf League, they are banned from any PGA Tour event, no matter if it's the Masters or any other one of the big Grand Slam tournaments. They in which at first they were exempt. So like it doesn't matter if they didn't play in a long time, they can still play at a certain tournament. But now PGA Tour is like, you got to choose either one or the other. So now it's causing a lot of beef right now in the early stages. But what are y'all thoughts so far?
I mean, golf's kind of boring. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say golf's kind of boring, so there you go. Throw some gasoline on the flames and make it interesting, I guess. Like since you say there's a beef now, but I mean, from the little bit I try to read up on it, I mean, it sounds kind of cool, but I don't really pay attention to golf, so you guys might know more about that.
I was gonna say, who'd have thought that golf has some beef and they look golf streets, but here we are. No, my 2 cents. Okay, you said it sounded a little gimmicky. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. The one thing, you know how Jumbo and I disagree with how the state of baseball is still stuck in the 50s and they're trying to bring it to the 90s, and here we are 2020, so they're still kind of behind. But the Live Golf, what they got going on, or so what they have going on, does sound a little more interesting. It sounds up to the times, and it's definitely forward thinking. If PGA wants to, which they don't, because definitely they're old school, just like Major League Baseball. If they want to get some more engaged participants and bigger media sponsorships and all that, then they need to tweak their game. So take some notes from Live Golf. Now, the other part regarding the humanitarian rights, to me, it's like the pot calling the kettle black. Now, granted, the U.S. government in public and on paper won't say that they don't care about this, they don't care about that, or they do this to people who talk out against the government. Right, the U.S. government doesn't. However, the U.S. government is also known for closing a blind or closing an eye, turning the other way to how they treat blacks in this country, to how they treat some immigrants in this country. So that's why I said it's the pot calling the kettle black. You're talking about Saudi Arabia, they're known for humanitarian rights and people may not have freedom of speech, kind of like we do in America. But our same government treats people over here, their own citizens, like second-class citizens. Sometimes how they treat women in proper positions, how we are treated in Congress. So they meaning the powers that be of calling the Live Golf and calling out on humanitarian rights and look at your own country. Okay, how we start wars with other countries and then sitting there and let them to shambles and then burn out. Come on now. So I raise my eyebrows when they're trying to call another country humanitarian rights and look at your own backyard. We wouldn't still have people protesting and trying to call out, well, we're going to get some more equity and reparations for blacks. We want to say, people, why y'all just now celebrating Juneteenth and it's been happened over almost 150 years ago? My thoughts are, if it's another country you don't like, then they'll go over there and play the U.S. Open, British Open, because England is known for doing some anti-humanitarian rights issues too. Don't go to other countries. Don't let Americans go play in Wimbledon over in England. I'm just saying, again, only when it curtails to somebody you don't like, you want to call them out. But look at your own stuff. Look at the other country where you do sporting events. You're not saying stop from playing there. You're not saying Americans don't go over there and play in China. Come on now, let's be real here. So that's my 2 cents on that part.
And Miss Williams, as she had earlier, she doesn't think the PGA is worried about the fact that Live is sponsored by Saudi Arabia. She thinks that is pretty much they don't like the competition because the PGA has always been about just them.
Correct. And now you got but that's why they just try to bring that humanitarian rights up. Because when I saw it on Outside the Lines on Saturday, deep diving into it, I'm like, okay, just call it what it is. Like you already said, it's about money. Don't try to bring another person's rights. Because they interviewed some of the golfers about it, and specifically Phil Mickelson. And the other golfers were up there too, and they were all quiet because they didn't know how to respond when they said, "How do you feel playing for Live Golf, who is supposedly backed by the Saudi Arabian government, and they're known to not, treat people like humans or do, the journalist cause like doing things like that is known publicly. Why would you want to go play for this circuit, and the government is known for that?" And so Mickelson was like, so many words, I'm not going to speak on that. Which I don't have an issue with it because, again, I already just named a few things America and other countries that we play sports are known for doing. So just call what it is. You mad at that, making money off of the players that you thought was only exclusive to the PGA. We realized that golf, again, I've been saying, is over a 200-year sport, and they really don't change too much. They don't want to change with the times. If Tiger Woods does get to come back and play again, that helps him a little bit, but you're in a whole other generation who hasn't seen Tiger play at his peak. And they're like, whatever about golf. But if y'all really want to get, again, boost your media sponsorships up and get more eyes on your game, you need to evolve, and you have it. You don't want to. So keep being back there. And I hope Live Golf does do well and gets more players involved. Eventually, they may merge or eventually have a season for Live Golf and a season for PGA where they won't be concurrent and players can do both.
T-Bone.
So the U.S. government isn't the ones who's really making the complaints. This is more the complaints that you hear more about the Saudis really comes from the citizens of the United States. Like, a lot of citizens complain about it more so than the government. The government still does stuff with Saudi Arabia, even though now they've, especially over like the past year or so, they've made remarks, but they're still willing to do stuff with them. But Smooth, this is something that I've seen more recently with WWE having the sponsorship with, well, I guess it's a sponsorship contract agreement with Saudi Arabia. So, I mean, this isn't surprising to me. I can see exactly what this is. The Saudi Arabia government, call it propaganda, call it what you want. They're in business to try to increase their business, which is getting people to soften the way that they see them. So, yeah, it probably is used to make it seem like they're this, good place and everything like that, despite some things. I'm not going to comment one way or another if that's good, bad, or ugly. But if I'm the PGA Tour, I would have a problem with it from as far as protecting their own business, because the Saudi Arabia government, they have no reason to schedule stuff that doesn't conflict with the PGA Tour. They have no reason to stop people from doing stuff, because what they want is the stars. They want those main attractions. WWE, for a lot of the stuff that Sadal complains about, it's because they bring over the older guys and the well-known guys. Well, in WWE, they bring them over because those are the stars. So that's why you're going to see your Dustin Johnsons and your Mickelsons and people like that. If I'm not mistaken, didn't they try to get Tiger Woods and he backed out of it?
Man, they gave him a crazy amount,
And,
like closer to billions.
And we know that Tiger Woods isn't exactly the top player right now, but they want those stars, and they're going to do what they can to get it. So I understand why. Now, I understand why the PGA Tour would have a problem with it. I do not think it's a good idea to try to ban people from playing in your thing, because you're only cutting your nose to spite your face with that, because until there's conflicts, until there's real conflicts, unless there's stuff that they know that we don't, until there's real conflicts, you better get the stars on it to be seen as stars, and hope that you can get some other people to beat them and entice those younger players to stay here that don't necessarily want to go there, because there's going to be a lot of people who just don't want to go to Saudi Arabia because of the stuff that they know about them. But I mean, yeah, Saudi Arabia is in the business of rehabilitating their own image, whether that means they're going to change their own ways or not. To be fair, again, I'm not taking a stance one way or another, but I remember when WWE started doing stuff with Saudi Arabia, they got all the hate mail in the world because they were working with the Saudi regime. Even though it's not illegal to work with them, they didn't do anything that's not allowed by the U.S. government. So they got a lot of hate mail from a lot of people who swore, oh, I'll never watch this, which means pretty much they didn't really want to watch in the first place. But one of the first complaints was that they don't allow women to compete and wrestle. And they didn't allow women on the shows, and the WWE couldn't send women over there at first.
Mm-hmm.
And it's slowly, after a few shows, they got the women on there. Then the complaints was, well, look at this. They're wearing these big baggy outfits. And then it's kind of slowly evolved again to where now they wrestle. They're fully covered, but I mean, they're fully covered in the type of stuff that they would kind of already wear. So,
right.
You know, the way that they look now isn't like a big deal. It's not like a shocking experience compared to the first time that you saw them there. So, I mean, look, they soften on some things, but again, that could just be just because they want to get people to soften on their image. But I could see why the PGA Tour would feel threatened by them, because again, like like Miss Williams said, it may not necessarily be because of the Saudi government, but the Saudi government is probably the only people that have the money that can go ahead and compete with the PGA Tour. There's not many other people who are willing or looking to do it. So having the Saudi government out there spending, you know, big bucks to get your stars, that kind of takes away from your ability to market off of them.
Right. And then, as she also said, considering how white male the PGA has been until recently, they have no room to talk. And then
not even just white male, but think about this. At the Masters, women couldn't even go to Augusta until like very recently.
Mm-hmm.
So if anybody, not necessarily the government, but if anybody has to kind of take a step back and say like, okay, maybe we shouldn't really talk too much, it's the PGA Tour for allowing that to go on for so long, where women can't even go onto the property of Augusta. Come on.
Boy, T-Bone Bunny, y'all bringing the night, boy. Y'all coming like some preachers. I love it. And then Mr. Williams says, even with Tiger Woods' diminished performance, attendance and viewership spikes every time he's in a tournament. So definitely.
Facts.
Want those
So,
stars.
up next, flying high, staying low, positive and negatives from the Cardinals over the past week. So, Joe, who has been flying high and who has been staying low?
That's bad. That's bad.
I know, right, Joe? I'm like, damn.
Oh my goodness.
You know that's too real.
Right. So honestly, I wrote down like Goldie's, you know, the main guy. He's legitimately might be our first MVP in like 10 years, you know. So that's him, but there's more flying high than laying low or whatever, which is probably Arenado for me, honestly. He had a really good April, and then he'll have a day or two here and there in between. That's, you know, it's been pretty good, but he's popping everything up. Just like you could probably go to a show last year where I said the same thing. He's just popping everything up. But like I said earlier, Tommy Edmonds not getting enough recognition in the league. He's been good. Carlson, since he's came back, he's been good. Can't say enough about Brendan Donovan, but I'll stick with my guy Goldie right now because he's just been too hot, especially with the scruff.
Right. T-Bone, who do you have flying high or staying low?
You know, I haven't been able to see any games right now due to the location restraints, but hopefully that'll be changing kind of soon. So, you look, I think the Cardinals as a whole just got to be flying high because look where they are right now. You know, wait, who was it that missed the catch? Was it Bader?
Now, don't be saying he's laying low. Don't be doing him like that.
Hey, he messed it up for his man.
He did not know center fielder's making that catch, but continue.
I'm just saying. I mean, look, you got to do what you got to do. If we're gonna blame the pitcher, we're not gonna blame him. Well, I guess
a good hit.
So you know what? I'll reserve that. So it's the Cardinals as a whole, flying high, number one in the division right now. I mean, look, I'm overall happy. I mean, hopefully I'll be adding another piece of tape in the coming months to my sign here. Well, we won't speak that yet. You know, we don't want to jinx it.
All right, Bunny, who do you have flying high or staying low.
Y'all get this man any sound effects. So, flying high individually. I mean, it's a few. I mean,
Oh,
okay. Tell me how you really
all right,
feel.
Sanaa.
Right. Okay. So I was gonna say in the group I was mentioning earlier, the Young Bucks. You don't agree? Who do you think should be the flying high then? Are you thinking Marmo? He's doing a good job of managing for his first year? Oh, okay. My bad. She said Marmo. Okay, the manager. Shout out to him. And who you think is laying low? You think Pujols not getting enough DH attempts out there? You think his bat's not popping? Well, he is in his 20th season now, guys. 21st season. So yeah, he don't get that many attempts, baby. But you think it's laying low? She thinks it's Pujols.
Okay. Well, I'll go ahead and say that mine is just like Bunny, Marmo, and I would say there's not been one game where I've been like, no, you tripping. I really haven't found anything that he's done that has really been like, he's not doing his job right. Since the day one, when it was announced that he's going to be the head coach, or excuse me, the manager, I was like, he just gives me a different vibe for this team. He's a breath of fresh air. He gives me those Alex Cora vibes, the manager from the Red Sox. He doesn't it's kind of like what I said before in the chat, Bunny and Joe. I was just saying how the game is changing and is evolving. Long gone are the days where you're seeing the same exact lineup every game. That's what Shilp wanted, was the same exact lineup every game. Marmo is all about the matchups and putting what's best for the team. One day you'll see I don't know, Nolan Gorman batting second, but then he'll bat fifth or sixth the next game based off the matchup. Now he's playing Donovan at the second spot, because he's maximizing these guys' efforts and what they're doing, and they're making the job harder for the opposing team. How he stands up for guys, how he puts guys accountable, like as we all saw with Bader, and how he took Bader out the game a few days ago because he didn't see the effort that he looks forward to. Then you saw the play yesterday by Nolan Gorman running past second base because that's what they, have been taught to do. So he's bringing a whole new breath of fresh air to this team that needed it. A big culture change was needed, and Ali is bringing that. So you saw how he was talking and arguing with the umpire in Chicago about Tommy Edman and other guys. I mean, this guy here, he's upfront, he's transparent, he demands a certain excellence with this team, and I have no problems at all with what he's doing. So, shouts out to Ali Marmo. In regards to staying low, you kind of brought this up, Joe, but it wasn't fully out there in regards to Nolan Arenado, but not just him, but the whole team. If you can just see the batting approach by Goldsmith right now, the reason why he's in MVP conversations and why he's having so much success, he's not afraid to take the ball the other way. And I feel like that's one of the biggest issues that this team still has, like Bader and O'Neal and other guys, and especially Arenado. That's why he's popping the ball up all the time and doing what he's doing, because he's not trusting his ability to take the ball the other way. If we had more Oppo tacos, and I ain't just talking about just home runs, but just taking the ball the other way, using the field, and not trying to always pull the ball, I think a lot of more people will have closer success to what Goldie is doing, and not having to be so frustrated when you're seeing pop-ups all the time, or pulling the ball slowly to the left side of the field for an easy grounder to third base or shortstop. If we can trust our skills more and take the ball the other way, I feel that this team would be much better consistently. Not streaky, but being consistently better no matter who we're playing. If we do that, I think we'll be looking good.
Yeah, with the whole like Nato again, fly out, pop out, runners in scoring position, that's that's when like the game's changing. You're seeing that all around the league. Everyone's doing it because everyone's so obsessed with launch angle right now.
Right.
They're trying to get the ball in the air, and that's why that's happening. So I don't know. It's frustrating. There was a game. Who was that against? When like, oh my gosh, it was a home game, and we popped up like 8-9 times. Remember that?
Yeah. It was a very frustrating game to watch.
That was it was like a fast paced game, but it was just so frustrating to watch. You know, like leaving runners in scoring position and so many foul pop outs. I don't know. I'm crossing my fingers for Renato to get it going here soon.
Do you feel that we've really seen the best out of him yet as a Cardinal?
No, I really don't. Like, obviously, at the end of the year, his numbers are going to be Nolan Arenado numbers. They're going to look great. Like April, he was amazing. And there was like a month, like at the end of the year, that, you know, he was really there. But even himself, during the offseason, he said he still has a lot more to prove and show to St. Louis. So, I mean, it might be time, though, like you were saying, with Ali switching up the lineup, it might be time to take him out of that 4th spot for just for a second, you know, just
right.
He had an off day yesterday, and he had one not that long ago, and you can't keep doing this. We can't keep leaving guys in scoring position, and then we're expecting Nolan to hit a pop-up.
So, real quick, standings, as you see on your screen right now, Yankees leading the AL East. They killing it right now. The Twins leading the Central. In the AL West, we have Joe's Houston Astros. National League East, the Mets holding things down. The Braves are on the way. The Central, yours truly, St. Louis Cardinals. In the NL West, Dodgers leading right now, but the Padres are right behind. So, whole lot going on right there. Joe, tell us about what's going on here. Tonight, Stanley Cup playoffs. What are your thoughts in regards to this matchup between the Avalanche and the Tampa Bay Lightning in the finals for the 3rd year in a row?
Well, first, we'll just have to say that's absolutely insane to think about. You know, the Lightning, you thought there for a second in that last round that they weren't going to make it because they were down 2-0, and the Rangers were looking really strong, but then they rattle off 4 straight wins. But no, right now the Avs are winning 2-1 in the first. But I think this is what 100% the Avs. Obviously, it's the finals, but their biggest matchup, their biggest competition. You got Vasilevsky in net. I know he's given up 2 goals already, but they know what they're doing. Not the Avalanche, the Lightning know what they're doing. They got all these pros in there. They've hoisted the cup 2 years in a row. Pat Maroon 3 years in a row. I got the Lightning in 6.
Lightning in 6. Up next, we have from one playoff format to another. NBA Finals tomorrow night is going to be Game 6 between the Warriors and the Boston Celtics. Man, this series has been incredible. Bunny, your thoughts in regards to this series, and does Boston have a chance to win this series, or is it over?
Of course it's not over. Everybody has a chance as long as you show up. I mean, look at Game 1. Nobody thought the Celtics would have gotten that dub on the road, but they did. And they won 2 against the Warriors. Now, granted, the Warriors up 3-2, but if everybody shows up for the Celtics for Game 6 tomorrow, then it will definitely be a Game 7. Everybody, meaning not just our St. Louis on Tatum, but we need Horford to show up. We need Brown and Smart. So in a nutshell, when the Celtics don't win, or like last game, Game 5, where 3rd quarter, they were balling back-to-back threes, hitting on all points. Great. And they fell off in the 4th. But I noticed overall through the series, Jaylen Brown and Tatum both had to score 20 points. If they score 20-plus points, excluding Game 1, they can beat the Warriors. So it's not over for them yet. All because they're on the road. I don't think that's the issue because they proved that they won on the road in Game 1. But I still think it will be a little bit of a challenge. But they are playing at home for Game 6. So, again, show up. The one thing that the Celtics have been doing consistently through the series when they've lost is rebounding. So they're good on that. The coach has made adjustments. Shout out for him to his first year. I don't think enough people realize this is this man's first year as a head coach, and he's in the finals. So that is hella dope. He wasn't in the coach of the year talks. You know, they went to the Suns coach again, but still, he's done a a great job adjusting. So it's not over yet. I still got faith in the Celtics, and I hope they make it a game 7. So we shall see.
Miss Williams says it's not over, but the Celtics' performance in Game 5 was disappointing. And I'll add on to that. Game 4, the last 5 minutes of the game, when Boston had an opportunity to shut the door and close out that game, Jaylen Brown, Tatum, they could not find the basket. They weren't being aggressive at all. And you allow the sleeping giant to wake up. And Steph Curry did his thing. Golden State played incredible. Even with Draymond Green fouling out, you cannot you can't allow championship DNA teams to have life. And
you also can't realize the Warriors
your feed going up.
Have veteran Smoooth Horford, so they definitely have a couple of spots you see the inexperience come through.
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely see, like I said earlier, the defense is okay. Like I said, the rebound has been consistent even through these losses. But Brown and Tatum both have to have their 20-plus points to get that W. So they're not being aggressive in the fourth quarter. They fall off. The third quarter, at both sides, the Warriors and the Celtics, the third quarter has been pivotal for both teams. Whatever you do in the third quarter, if you can continue in the fourth, you get the win. If you don't, then you get the L.
And that's going to separate the winner from the losers, because that's been an issue with Boston this whole playoff is they don't close the door when needed. They keep teams open, and you can't leave a team like Golden State available to win the game. T-Bone, your thoughts?
I mean, when I looked at it, I saw the Warriors kind of coming together, and that was even with Steph Curry not even having, a good game. No 3-pointers in a finals game or in a playoff game for Steph Curry, and they still got the victory. I mean, that kind of shows you that the team is operating as a team. And I was also thinking when I watched this game, like, Wiggins. Who drafted Andrew Wiggins?
The Cleveland Cavaliers.
How many games did he play with them?
0.
Why?
LeBron James.
Well, there we go. There we go.
Don't do your boy like that. Don't do LeBron.
Truthfully, you can't blame them at that time because Wiggins wasn't that dude at that time, and Cleveland did win a championship, and they were successful doing it.
Well, but I still argue that it kind of shows the point, because they got that one championship, and it was great that they got it. Hadn't won it before, awesome. But how's Kevin Love doing these days?
You can't compare ages now. Come on now.
Well, that's my point. But that's my point. You got him. You got all this stuff set up for the one guy to have his team set up the way he wanted it. Who knows what the potential could have been with Wiggins on that team for the long run? We don't know. And I guess the unknown is obvious. You can't really compare it, but I'm just saying this dude looks like he's playing pretty good right now, and they could have had him instead of trying to build around that one guy at that one time. Yeah, you got your championship, but it might be a while before they get another one.
But then also you have to think about this too is, he had his years in Minnesota, and I was one of the main ones like, man, this dude ain't it. But it's all about being in the right system, being around the right players. I know our special guest who is ready to get on, he can definitely attest to this too, but it's all about being in the right system, being put in a position to succeed. Wiggins, if he would have played during that time, he wouldn't have been in the right position for him to really maximize his talents at that time when he was young.
Why wouldn't he have been able to play with LeBron?
I'm not saying he can play with him,
but that's my point. Why you've heard me say week in, week out, and week out, that LeBron has never developed anybody. He's never worked with somebody who's come onto the team he's made better. You've never seen that mentor-mentee relationship. Yeah, he tried to say it with Kyrie Irving, and you see how that was received. Kyrie said, "No, I'm good. I want to be out. I want you."
And who fault was that?
I mean, Kyrie, they won it. I mean, I think that Kyrie sees the same thing that a lot of other people see, though. Like, wait a minute,
he ain't been the same since he left Cleveland. He hasn't even touched the finals since he left Cleveland.
I mean, LeBron's touched it once, twice, once.
But he's been there.
Look, that's true, but that's because he gets things set up the way that he wants. But
Sound like a
all
LeBron
I'm saying is that Wiggins could have been the guy that LeBron could have been mentoring and developing on the team. So then when he left the team still would have been better off than when he got there.
I don't agree with that because once again, at that time when he was drafted, he was not the person that Cleveland needed at that moment to succeed and win a championship. At that time, not saying that he couldn't win with LeBron. It just one of those situations in which, at that moment, he just wasn't the player that they needed, and they needed to find a way to get a Kevin Love and to get other guys at that moment to build a championship team. You couldn't build a championship team during that time when Wiggins was drafted. It wasn't going to happen.
I don't know, because they didn't win that first year. They won the second year, right? It was the second year?
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, like, they could have been developing him that first year. Who knows what could have happened, right? All I'm saying is they didn't win that championship the first year. He got sent away to Minnesota, and now he seems to be pretty developed. And kind of like how, like Alex Smith, it took him a while to get into the right system to where things started working out.
The right system.
Right. But who's to say that they couldn't have? I'll concede the point, but I'm just saying, like, dude's doing pretty well for himself right now. He's on his way to a championship.
And I have to salute Golden State for bringing the best of Wiggins out. Like, just being around guys like Draymond and, Steph and Steve Kerr and, Clay, all of them. He's really found himself. So I'm definitely glad for him, because I was definitely one of them guys like, man, this dude ain't showing me nothing with Minnesota, but I'm glad that he's doing good. But real quick before our guest comes on, we have T-3. Ladies, I know y'all have to go ahead and leave. So Joe, Bunny, y'all have a great rest of y'all evening. Thanks for y'all time. Y'all have a great one.
Thank you. Till my night.
Night. Bye, guys. Have a good night.
All right, y'all. All right. Once again, this is the Platform Sports Talk Show. Your boy Smooth along with
T-Bone.
Once again, T-3. Give us real quick your top 3 wrestling storylines.
I don't know if these is top 3 wrestling storylines, but I'll talk about top 3 things in wrestling right now. Number 3 kind of just broke right before we went on the air as far as an investigation going on with Vince McMahon. Possible some dealing, some unscrupulous dealings going on as far as like some payments being made. So there's an investigation going on, and we'll see what comes of that. Number 2 could have been the biggest story of the weekend or of the week was Jeff Hardy. Seems to be going back into some old ways, and I just hope that whatever's done, I really hope it's done to be able to protect himself and the people around him. It's getting to a point where it's like, look, what needs to be done? You have a suspended license for some things you've done, and then you go ahead and circumnavigate that system, and then drive on the road in a condition you shouldn't be in. To me, some stuff needs to happen. I'm not gonna say what I think those things should be, but you can't keep doing those same things over and over and over, and then just keep getting a pass. But the number one thing in wrestling right now is that HBCW will be returning to Orlando, Florida, August 20th and 21st. And Smooth, you got that video?
Let's get it.
That's right. August 20th and 21st, HBCW returns or the Orange County Convention Center as part of the Florida Kids and Family Expo. And as you saw in that video right now, the first person that we're announcing on the show is Cassandra Golden. For those of y'all that don't know, Cassandra Golden from Arkansas has traveled around to a lot of different places. She's trained up with Lance Storm up in Canada. She's been in Atlanta, Georgia, training with QT Marshall. She's been all over the place. She's been on some TV that people may have seen, and she will be in Orlando, Florida for the Orange County Convention Center for HBCW August 20th and 21st. Now, I know a lot of y'all are out here like, wait a minute, T-Bone, we're here in St. Louis, a lot of us. How are we going to see it? Well, this will be on YouTube as soon as we can get it posted. Everybody will get a chance to see all these matches. So, you know what? Go ahead to HBCW on YouTube and subscribe to our channel. And while you're there, subscribe to the Platform Sports Talk Show as well. You got to subscribe, people. Got to subscribe on YouTube. And make sure that you tell your mama, tell your friend, tell everybody that you can. Because we are trying to get to 500 likes here on the Platform Sports Talk Show. We're trying to get to 500 likes on HBCW. So, you know what? Pair them up together. Do it all together. That way you have it all lined up. But that's right. Don't forget, everybody, first Wednesday of the month, we got Ladies Night. And they are always bringing it. You've seen them every Wednesday or every first Wednesday. And then, you know what? The last Wednesday of the month, we got the Man Cave. So we got you covered. We got everybody covered. So make sure you check out the Platform Sports Talk Show on YouTube and also subscribe to HBCW on YouTube as well. But that's pretty much all I got to say right now. Oh, don't forget Hot 365. We know y'all out there listening to us. Hopefully the quality is good. If it's not, let us know so I can upgrade my mic over here. I need to spend some money. So you know, Hot 365, we glad to be a part of this. Glad that y'all can hear us. And don't forget, at 9 o'clock, tune on over to YouTube and catch out the rest of the show.
There it is. Shouts out to T-Bone holding things down with the pub. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is that time. This man here, he's ready. I saw him doing the show earlier today, so I got to make sure he ain't too tired now to hold things down prime time style. But this man here, he is an entrepreneur. He is a father. He is a coach. And I didn't promote this earlier for a reason. But he's also a comedian, y'all. He got them jokes for y'all. I've done some shows in the past. I'm not sure if he recalls who I am in regards to me being DJ Smooth. But we'll talk about that very soon. But without any further ado, he's ready. Hope y'all ready. Get them shares going right now. We need more people tuned in. This is another man who has another incredible story that I'm sure he is ready to tell as we give him the flowers that he deserves. He's a man who loves his community, loves to give back, loves to provide opportunities for the youth. Without any further ado, our special guest to the Platform Sports Talk Show, Mr. Mike Gerdine. What's going on, brother? Oh, you on mute.
There we
There
go.
it is.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir. What's going on with you, man?
Oh, man, what's going on, man? I appreciate y'all bringing me on, man. I'm excited to be here.
Hey, man, it's definitely a pleasure to have you on. Thanks for taking some time to be with the Platform Sports Talk Show, man.
Oh, yeah, definitely, man. You know, anytime I can, you know, be of service, you know, I'm with it. You know, like you said, I'm a bit of an entertainer, so, you know, I'm very comfortable in front of the camera, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And as I brought up in the promo, in the intro, you know, you also are a comedian, and that's how I initially knew you.
Yeah.
Was do the circuit. You know, if you recall, I used to do Word Up. You know, shouts out to Energy and Lewis Confliction and all them.
Yeah.
And I know you used to do your thing with the stand up, and I done stuff with Chris Sillyman and Eric Green and all them guys, man. And to see you hold your own, so you ain't no punk with it with the comedy game.
No. I just you know, a lot of them guys you mentioned, you know, shout out to those guys. Comedy's a grind, man, and you really gotta put that work in. And you know, my time is just conflicted, man. I need more hours in a day. And you know, you really gotta be at the open mics pushing, and you know, you gotta be performing, you know, 3-4 nights out of the week. And football season, you know, I got high school practice, little league practice. Then, you know, I got my son, my daughter. You know, it's just hard. So I try to, you know, perform when I can. But, you know, like I said, it's a grind. You got to keep at it. And if you ain't grinding all the time, you know, you ain't gonna be on point as you should be.
So with that being said, are you saying that you pretty much just put the comedy in the back burner for now and just focus on just strictly coaching?
Well, so track really kind of killed my comedy this season because this is my first year coaching track, and usually I perform as soon as football season's over. I'm trying to hit as many stages as I can, and I'm getting out, and you know I'm performing at the open mics 2-3 times a week. But with track, it just took so much of my time. So I haven't. I think the last time I performed maybe 2 months ago at a show with Precious J.
Yeah.
She on the show, comedy and brunch show, real good shows, comedians and poets, real good vibe. You know what I mean? But you know, I don't have the opportunity to perform as much as I like. It was a Sunday, so it was perfect. It didn't really interfere with anything. A lot of the stuff people come to me with is during the week, and I just got a schedule conflict, and it's just hard for me to pull it off.
Hey, I feel you, man. I think about my times when I was younger, and I used to always do, you know, softball this and play basketball here in this league or bowling league and this and that. But then, you know, adulting, you know, adulting just make you just do some things differently now.
Yeah, especially, you know, I don't. A lot of times, you know, you got to sacrifice certain things to, you know, to get other things, and you know, my time with my kids is just something that I'm not really willing to sacrifice for comedy. You know, I love comedy as therapy for me, but you know, my relationship with my kids is definitely more important than, you know, me getting on stage. Now, not saying that, you know, I'm never going away from comedy, but you know, it's just it's my side chick right now. You know what I mean? I can't.
It's the side chick. I love it. But yeah, so like last week, and shouts out to Draco. You know, he's an MC, he's a hip hop artist, and he's someone who's not afraid to entertain. Got, you know, Mike Gerdine here, T-Bone. I keep bringing in guests, man, who knows how to bring it on the microphone.
Well, you know, he look, comedy and wrestling very similar. you gotta be out there doing stuff on a regular basis. So yeah, I know what you mean as far as the time commitments. I can relate.
Man, then you talking about wrestling. I thought I was HBK growing up, so you know, I ain't, you know, I get out there and get somebody some sweet chin music or something. Let me know, man. Let me know.
You know, everybody throwing super kicks these days. So everybody.
And then I'll be the one bringing the RKO just all of a sudden out of nowhere. But so who would you say with you starting off during your younger years as a comedian, who were some comedians that inspired you?
So I definitely got to shout out Princeton Duke first. Princeton got me on stage first, and it was crazy because it was down at Lola, and my brother PT, he like, man, my boy, he hosting, he said get you on, and I went down there, and he just threw me on stage, threw me right in the fire, and you know, it was one of those things that it was a learning experience. You know, you always think you're funny till it's time to be funny, and then you know, I'm in there like, oh, y'all ain't like that one. I got another one. So it was just a learning experience. Definitely Princeton. To hear more, I went to college with him. Dude been funny for forever. You know what I mean? Like one of the first things I did when I got to Harris Stowe, we did a Wildin' Out, and you know, I thought I was killing. Dude killed me. So ever since then, you know, he been like a big brother to me. A guy that gave me some good advice, and I definitely love to support Javon Bibbs. Funny dude. Man, dude, just hilarious, man. Like just everything, his delivery, like his punchline, like everything is just original with it, man. And I definitely like how he attacks the craft, like how he goes about it. Trying to think who else coming up. Oh man, I got a shout out from my boy. where the cowboy had Longhorn. That's his name, Longhorn. Funny dude, man. And he told me, one of the first couple times I performed to keep at it and, not to really focus on what other people got to say and, just find my lane. And he saw that, I had a gift and, just to go with it. I don't want to leave nobody out, man. Trying to think, bringing me into it. That was pretty much, you mentioned Chris. Me, Chris, and Jarrell Cooper used to do a show at the Crocodile Lounge when we first started up.
Crocodile Lounge.
Man, I'm gonna tell you, boy, it was some whoo. We got some stories, but we can tell you. And it was, just the grind coming up together, and Coop still doing his thing. Shout out to Coop. Silly Man still doing his thing down in Arizona. And it was just, man, we got some I got some jokes about both of them dudes, man. And I'm talking about like we definitely grew together in comedy. You know what I mean? So those were some of the guys I kind of came up with and was influenced by.
Did you have to get over like any stage fright when you were first starting off as a comic?
Nah, I never really had stage fright. It was more so trying to figure out just how to flow with things. You transition from one joke to another. Trying not to really have no dead time. I used to say a lot. You know what I mean? Just kind of really learning how to critique. There I go.
Like that.
Learning how to critique the set and learning how to put together a set and what jokes kind of flow with each other. But I was always, not always. I still like my style. I try not to go into a situation like with a set show. Like I like to kind of go feel the crowd out. You know what I mean? And then I kind of put together my set while I'm there. In my head, I like, okay, this joke will be good. This joke will be good. And then I could transition like this and maybe take something from that happened earlier in the night and tie that in with like a current event or something. And, just kind of tweak some things and make it original so that, if you've seen me before, the show is not the same. You might hear the joke and the punchline, it might be the same, but the show and how it flows is going to be a little different every time.
Question for you.
What's up, bro?
So what you just said there is something that is kind of a thing with Russ. I told you there's a lot of similarities here. So you just described that you go out there and you kind of basically feel what the audience is doing, right? So you kind of do it as you hear the responses.
Right.
Do you feel that comedians are better when they go out there with it's one thing if you have a special that you're trying to do or something like that, or somebody's recording something specific that you want in a very specific order. But do you find that it's better just, for just a live performance to go out there and have things set, or to go out there and, just call it on the fly is what we call it? What do you think the audience responds better to?
I think it's kind of like a mixture. You gotta kind of have a little bit of both. Hold on one second. Let me cut this light on. It's getting dark on me. Yeah, so I think you gotta kind of have a mixture. The best comedians, I feel like they can roll with the punches. They can they can ad lib and they can do some freestyling and just kind of come off the top of the dome, but then also flow with that set. And I also think it just kind of depends on the crowd. If you got a set that's very vulgar, you know what I mean? You saying a bunch of derogatory things, just a bunch of nasty jokes, and you in a crowd full of church people or something, you might want to go a different way because that's not gonna be what you think it's gonna be. You know what I mean? like them church folk. You got to have them clean jokes, and they got to be some stuff that's kind of wholesome. You can't really go too far, and it's really about filling out the crowd. If you a comedian that degrades women, and it's a women empowerment event that you performing at, you might want to save some of them jokes. You know what I mean? Like. It just, you got to fill the room, and certain jokes, not to say that, you can't say what you want, but, you are there to entertain. So, you don't want to offend anybody intentionally. At least I try not to. You got to have tough skin, and part of comedy is, not really caring, just going up there and, doing your thing. But at the same time, somebody paying you to perform at a show, you know, and you're not respectable to the audience, you know, that's not gonna go over well, and you know, you might see yourself not getting booked no more, you know.
And you brought up something that I wanted to go ahead and bring up. People are very sensitive nowadays.
Oh my God.
So when you saw the Will Smith slap, and then you saw Dave Chappelle get attacked, like, what were your thoughts? Like, would you be like, man, you know what? Maybe I did choose a good, I did do a good thing and not choose comedy no more because I might get attacked.
Nah, and I performed a couple times since then, and I led with that, you know. Don't come up here thinking it's gonna be sweet, you know. You're gonna turn the comedy show to the 4th of July, you know, it's gonna be fireworks.
Man.
But, you know, it's one of those things, both of those, I just feel like, you know, comedy is comedy, man. You know, if you can't take it, don't sit in the front row. You know what I'm saying? Will, I feel like Will was definitely out of line. You know what I mean? And like that's a conversation. You know what I mean? That's a conversation you can have. And then especially with us living in, you know, we in St. Louis, you know, that situation right there definitely probably would have ended, you know, as an episode of the First 48.
Man.
You know what I mean? And that was just something that could have been avoided. You know what I mean? I'm definitely, you know, I'm all for him standing up for his woman or whatever he felt like he needed to do, but that was totally inappropriate at the time and the place. You know what I mean? And then the guy attacking Chris Rock, you know, he paid the ultimate price. You know what I mean? Like, that's just come on, man. You had a show, and I guess I said that. I said Chris, yeah, Dave Chappelle. You know, dude, they twisted him all up, and you know, I don't know if he got what he was looking for, but he definitely found, you know, some special treatment.
Exactly.
Like Stretch Armstrong afterwards.
Man, that one was all discombobulated, all kind of.
he was a human pretzel.
Man, they tore him up.
Man. So we all know, for those tuning in, that this is the platform sports talk show. So we got to talk some sports with our special guest. So first question we'd like to ask our guest officially is, when will you say that you first fell in love with sports?
So I grew up in Atlanta. So my first experience with sports, I was 5 years old. I was supposed to play t-ball, right? So I went to the t-ball tryouts, and I was smacking that mug. Ping! You know what I'm saying? Ping! So they like, oh man, you know, his hand-eye coordination is advanced. So
really?
To the next, it was like t-ball, then it was pee-wee, the next one up. So I went to pee-wee, and they had the pitching machine, and then I was ping smacking that one off of that, and I got picked up on this team that was like, I guess they was a little more advanced. It was a year older. I was the youngest kid on the team, and we won our championship. And so my first introduction to sports was a very competitive championship team, and that kind of laid the foundation for me with everything that I do. Like, if it's a championship to be won, I want to win it. So I mean, I'm not big on participation awards and all that. Like, we gonna get it. Like, if it's a championship, I want to win it.
So you would say that baseball was your first love?
Yeah, I loved baseball until the 7th grade. And my 7th grade year, I finally played with my boy. They was the Cardinals. And I played on a bunch of different teams, but I never played on the Cardinals. I had all this Cardinal stuff, you know, me being from St. Louis. I got all this Cardinal stuff. Never got to play on the Cardinals. Finally got to play on the Cardinals, and I broke my ankle sliding in the third, and I couldn't play football my 8th grade year. And after that, it was like, yeah, nah, baseball over with. I never play again. That was my last time playing, because I didn't want to interfere with football. Football, I love football. And baseball was definitely probably my first love, but football came in and definitely took its place for sure.
And what was it about the game of football that just took over your love interests?
So I'm from a sports family. My dad played college ball. He was in camp with the Packers. He made it to the last cut, and then he got cut. So that always stuck with me. I'm like, man, he couldn't do it. I'm gonna go to the NFL for him, you know. And it was just always a in the back of my mind, I want to go play big time college football and make it to the NFL. You know, like every kid that plays youth football. But it was kind of different for me because my introduction to youth football was kind of the same way. I was in Atlanta. It was a weight based thing, so I was heavier, and I was 9 playing with 13 and 14-year-olds. You know what I mean? So it kind of grew me up a little bit. They took me under their wing and definitely just kind of showed me the game, and I had to pick up a little faster because the kids were a little older than me, and they understood the game a little bit more. So it forced me to really kind of dive into it. And me playing up those years, and I finally played with my age, it was like, all right, this, I like this. I like how this flow. I see, where I can get my money. And it was just like, this is something I really want to do,
That's what's up. And what was your position during your younger years?
So I played nose guard all throughout, from 9 up until high school, and I tried to play. I tried to play linebacker my sophomore. Really, I tried my sophomore through my senior year, but my senior year I kind of went back to D-tack, nose guard, and but then I played in the high school all-star game. I played at linebacker, so it was linebacker, but I really I got to high school and I played fullback. I got a taste of carrying that ball, and I was just like, man, this offense different. I like this. Like, I was a defensive guy, and then they gave me the ball, and I fell in love with offense.
Man, that's what's up. So, and who would you credit as you were, growing up playing football that was pretty much helping you out with the skills and getting you on the right path?
So definitely my dad, taught me the game, my foundation. I would probably say definitely my high school football coach had a big impact on me. Bob Shannon. He taught me some lessons that it took me a long time to understand, but I definitely appreciate him for that. Probably I have to give credit to the Coopers over at Hoover and Judge Jimmy Edwards. When I was a junior in high school, they brought me out and kind of had me assisting coaching with their I want to say they were 9 at the time when I first started, maybe 8. But that's when I fell in love with coaching. They brought me out there just kind of help out, and I mean, like, I really, I learned then, like, I had a gift for teaching the game, and it's one thing to play it, but to get someone to be able to show them what and to see them, transfer that to the football field, it's no more of a rewarding feeling than that.
And I love to ask this question to our previous guests who've been athletes and who are now coaches, etc. But how would yourself being the coach who, you're scouting players and etc., how would you see yourself as a coach? And how would you grade your younger self as a football player?
Oh my God. And I tell everybody the same thing. I was terrible. Terrible. Horrible attitude. I was a me player. I was cool, if everything was going my way, but if we winning and I ain't playing, I'm upset. You know what I mean? And I definitely wish I would have had a coach like myself. I don't sugarcoat anything. You know what I mean? I'm gonna tell you how it is. You never gonna have to guess where you stand with Coach Mike. You know what I mean? If I feel like you garbage, I'm gonna tell you garbage. You know what I mean? Not saying that that's where you're gonna be. That's where you're gonna end up. But if I feel like your effort, your ability, whatever you're doing, if I feel like it's not up to par, I'm gonna let you know. And I feel like I didn't have enough coaches to keep it real with me. You know what I mean? I wish more people would have kind of, put a foot in my behind. You know what I mean? They kind of gave me the rope and let me hang myself. You know what I mean? And everything is in hindsight. You live and you learn. And I definitely don't think I would have been the type of coach that I am today without the experiences that I had as a player. You know what I mean? My senior year, I only had 4 tackles. You know what I mean? I didn't play as much as I would like, would have liked to play, but that was 100% my fault. You know what I mean? I always did just enough. You know what I mean? I'm like, well, I did enough to do this, did enough. And I definitely could have gone above and beyond, but I chose not to. You know what I mean? I felt like, oh, well, I'm good enough to do this. I'm good enough to do that. And in hindsight, I wasn't trying to be the best version of myself. And that hindered me. You know what I mean? And that was just, a lesson that I had to learn.
Nice. And tell everybody what high school that you went to.
I went to the Christian Brothers College Preparatory High School.
Yeah, so that's that school there has really been holding things down over the past few years in regards to the high school ranks. So how was that school during the time that you were there?
So let this be known, bro. Let it be known. My class, right? Well, I give it to the class before me, 04. They were the first graduating class in the new school. We were led by Herb Donaldson, running back, ended up going to the NFL. Man, tough as nails. Like we had a really good team that year, but lost to Melville in districts. Districts was a little different back then. We had to win them last 3. We lost to Melville, so we made the playoffs. So my senior year, we were state quarterfinalists. You know what I mean? And I like to think that we kind of kicked off that ball they got rolling now. You know what I mean? The first team that went to the state championship they were sophomores when I was a senior, and then their senior year they went to the state championship. And that was the first time we were in the state championship. And I like to think that, our class kind of, we prepared those guys for that. A lot of those guys were on our team. They were starters on our team. They were key factors on the team. And we definitely, showed them what they needed to be, because that next year, I think they were like maybe 1-9 or something like that. And then the year after that, their senior year, they made that run. And, the only game they lost before state, they lost Hazelwood East at the beginning, but it was a close game. And, Hazelwood East used to be a super dominant powerhouse. And we were the first team to beat East at CBC. And then, 2 years later, they come back and they make that run and go to state. So I definitely like to give my class our flowers. You know what I mean? We had a good group of guys. Cameron Poole, he's a director of diversity over in Clayton School District right now. He was fullback, linebackers, captain for us. He ended up playing at Truman State. Good football player, Dickey kid. Anthony Davis was a good one for us. Never played football before high school. Came out blazing receiver, strong safety. Definitely led the way for us. Zach Smith, another one, played college ball. Ricky Macklin, laid the foundation. Isaiah Maris, RIP to my guy. He was a big part in what we did. Marcel Watson, big dog on the line. Paul Hart, Dan LeBert. So, I can keep going on. But my class, definitely want to shout my class out. I feel like, we got the ball rolling, and then they took that mug and ran with it, boy.
Took it and ran with it. So that's what's up, man. Did you only play football in high school? Did you play any other sports?
So I played football, and I wrestled my freshman year. And my mouth, man, I used to be running my mouth. And I told the coach one day I wasn't even supposed to wrestle, man. And I told him, man, I wrestle heavyweight. It ain't nothing. I think I was wrestling 189. I told this dude I wrestle heavyweight. And that dude got to flipping me and tossing me, man. Dude name was David Caldwell. I'll never forget it. SLU High School. Only match I ever lost. Only match. Now, I only wrestled about 10 times, but I only lost one. You know what I'm saying? And dude got me after that. I'm like, man, I'm retired. I'll never do this again. Hardest sport I ever did in my life. And then I ran track to get fast for football. And I think I qualified. I mean, I competed in maybe 3-4 events my entire time But I used to just, walk around, hold the blocks, talk, look at the girls, have a good time, entertain, be a comedian. That's all I used to do. Football was, that was really my main sport.
So I know T-Bone got, the ears perked up, and you say you was a wrestler in high school and everything. As a wrestler during that time, were people taking you serious as a wrestler, or were they joking like, man, this dude's doing wrestling,
Nah, we were serious. I think I don't really see it as big nowadays, but back when I was playing, it was like football and wrestling were hand in hand. You know what I mean? So wasn't no, we didn't have 7-on-7 big. It wasn't like a bunch of big man competitions and stuff like that. So, if you wasn't a hooper, you in that wrestling room on that mat, and you getting stronger for football. And so most of the football, it's like, probably, 40-50% of the team was wrestling too. So, it was the same thing. We all was in it together. Now I definitely started off freshman year, that wrestling, bro, it's different, man. I've never in my life been pushed to the limit like that. You in that little room with sweats on, with 30, 40 other dudes, and y'all are just going hours at a time. Like, dudes got cauliflower ear. I don't want it to touch me. Like, man, it's crazy, bro. It's a crazy atmosphere, for real.
CBC they had big wrestling teams back when I was wrestling, because I wrestled all 4 years. So I remember CBC ended my freshman year in the district tournament, because they had the district tournament at CBC freshman year, and I was like, I don't know if I'm meant to do this. but yeah. So it took me a while to kind of bounce back from that, but CBC they kind of shut down all my hopes and dreams my freshman year. So yeah, I've never forgotten CBC. So that purple and gold
yeah, man,
stuck in my mind.
Yeah, don't forget it.
Said, don't you forget it. Once again, this is the Platform Sports Talk Show. I am your boy Smoooth, and right above we have
T-Bone.
And right over here we have our special guest,
Mike Gerdine.
There it is, your Wednesday night Sports Delight. So, did you get any offers in regards to the recruitment process and in football?
So, funny story. I tell people this all the time. So, up until my junior year, I thought I was going to the University of Florida. You couldn't tell me otherwise. I just knew they was going to be in need of a 5'5", 215-pound fullback. You know what I mean? But they never came knocking. You know what I mean? So I had some interest. I went to a couple camps, and I went to this Mizzou Black and Gold camp, and Baker University was there, and I had a decent workout, and they expressed some interest. And then I worked out at running back, and the coach from Missouri Southern had kind of expressed some interest. One of my linemen ended up going up there, and so the coach was kind of, inquiring about me with that, but nothing serious. You know what I mean? Like, we want you to come to the school, come to camp, but nothing like, hey, we really want you to be a part of this team. We want you, to be a part of this university. So I had nothing coming out. I was fortunate that I played in the St. Louis High School All-Star Classic. It was an event that, to my knowledge, only happened 1 year, and I actually ended up recreating the event some years later. But I played in it, and it was just a surreal experience for me. Mike Jones was he was the the tackle Mike Jones too. Right? So, former SLU head coach. He's Hazelwood East Lincoln Rams legend. He had a camp at Rams Park over the summer, and he worked me out at linebacker, and it was crazy because it was only like maybe me and another kid, so I really got to work with him hands on. And he told me I had good feet, and I moved well for my size, and he really liked my energy, and just was really gave me a lot of positive praise. And it was crazy because he took over Hazelwood East, and we had to play them first game. So it was a little, you know, a little animosity there. You know what I mean? But we beat them the first game. They ended my career in the playoffs, in the quarterfinals. We lost the East. And, you know, I thought my career was over. So I'm driving to work one day, and I get a phone call. And Coach Jones is like, "Hey, Mike, it's Coach Jones." I'm like, "Hey, how you doing, Coach Jones?" They're like, "Man, we doing this high school all-star game, and one of the linebackers can't go. You know, we wanted to know if you'd be interested." Man, I was working at the Heights at the time. I was driving. I called the Heights. I'm like, "Yeah, I ain't gonna make it." I banged that right down 170, took that mug to 270, got off at 367, pulled up at Hazelwood East, and I had my helmet in the trunk. I was ready to go. And I went to practice. So the first practice was at East. I'm super energetic. I'm flying around. I think some running backs didn't show up. I got some reps at running back. I'm feeling good, you know. And we went to this was a Thursday. So we had a 2-a-day practice Friday, and then we had a practice Friday morning before the game was on a Saturday. And I pull up to this practice, and everybody wasn't at the first one. So the second one, everybody was there. And when I say it is like a who's who of the all prep, you know, the super 30, like anybody who was like everybody, all the guys, the main guys from my class, they playing in this game. You know what I mean? Chris Brooks was supposed to play. He ended up just coming and sitting out. I think Nebraska said something like he couldn't play. Terry Fenton, he played college ball. He played in the game. Jeff Thompson, the area offensive MVP, Sean Scott, he had like 2,500 yards rushing that year. Sean Perkins, all district, all conference, all state DB from Vashon. It was some as a DN, I was like all conference from Normandy. It was a dude from like, I don't know, like Winfield, Missouri, maybe. I don't remember where it was from, but he had like the state record for receptions in the game, and just a who's who of guys. And here's me with, you know, with my 4 tackles on the season, you know what I mean? And I'm here with all these guys, with all these accolades, and I played with a chip on my shoulder, man. I felt like, you know, I had something to prove, and I competed well. I was two tackles away from being MVP. I ended up with 4 tackles and an interception, and the MVP ended up with six tackles and a sack. And you know, he ended up, you know, taking it away from me, but he had 2 of my tackles. He had 45, I was 44. They credited him with 2 of my tackles, so it really should have been mine. I ain't hold that against him, you know what I mean? But that let me know that, you know, maybe I do have what it takes to play in college. And so out of high school, originally I went to Tennessee State, and I went through the walk-on process, and I wasn't aware that, you know, at most major universities, they don't turn anybody away. You know, if you want to play college football and your school paid for it, they'll let you come out. They're going to give you some pads, and, you know, you'll be a practice dummy. Mm-hmm. So I didn't really realize that, you know, college football was like that. And it's really a business. And there are walk-ons and they're preferred walk-ons. And then, you know, you got your scholarship guys. And, you know, I'm down there with Dominique Rogers-Cromartie and Javaris Johnson. And it's, you know, we got some NFL talent down here. A dude that just transferred from Florida State. Like, I'm like, yo, this is different. And me and my boy Sean, we went through the walk-on process, and they got us doing these workouts, and, you know, we getting up and training and doing all this stuff. And one day I'm talking to one of the trainers, and he tell me like, yeah, man, you know, you keep working, you might be able to get on the field, you know, about 2009. And this 05. I'm like, what you mean? 2009? Like, you know, yeah, it's a process, you know, you gotta wait your turn. And he said that, and I was just like, yeah, this will be my last workout right here. I just, you know, I gave it up, man, and I quit. And then a couple months later, I had a baby on the way, so I just like, you know what? Let me go and try something different. I'm gonna come on home and get my life together. So
adulting.
Oh yeah, Yeah, I had to grow up fast, man. I had my son at 19, and you know, it was, you know, work and be a father, try to chase my career, and you know, I realized that, you know, I probably wasn't going to the NFL, so I don't know, you know, how well this is gonna pay. I need to probably do something different. So, you know, after Tennessee State, I came home to Harris Stowe, and I started coaching right then, and you know, this has brought me to where I'm at right now.
So Tennessee State, I know, is a HBCU.
Yes,
Uh,
sir.
and T-Bone, I know that you went to a HBCU. That was Kentucky State.
Kentucky State. Yep.
Yeah. So
Shoot.
just tell us, for those watching who's maybe interested, you know, your thoughts in regards to, you know, going to an HBCU. I know it's definitely a hot trending topic, especially with what Deion Sanders doing right now in Jackson State. But just give us your point of view.
And
Yeah,
let me tell
Georgia.
you, man, it's and you know, it's crazy because I coached, you know, Kevin Coleman, so you know, that was big, you know, him doing that. And I just feel like the experience at a HBCU is second to none. Like, you can talk about it all you want, but until you have experienced an HBCU homecoming, you don't know what living really is. Like, man, Tennessee State, I was there for 1 year. I have lifetime friends at Tennessee State. Lifetime friends. And I mean, it's really one of those things where it is truly a family. And you know, I really wish I was fortunate enough to graduate from there. You know what I mean? Not taking anything away from Harris Stowe, the fine institution that it is, but you know, Tennessee State was definitely a great experience for me. In the little time I had in Nashville, it's one of my favorite cities. I visit as frequently as I can. Like I said, I got lifetime friends down there, and I've sent some kids that I've coached down there. Actually, it's crazy we talking about Tennessee State. My nephew, Chevalier Brinson, is committed to Tennessee State. CBC guy. He went to Ball State out of high school, and he just transferred to Tennessee State. So I'm gonna be down there at Big Blue a lot more often, and you know, I think that was one of the things that kind of won him over. Like, the atmosphere is just it's truly second to none, man. I tell everybody, at least, you know, if you're not open to it, definitely, you know, give it a shot and go experience some HBCUs, because it is definitely a top tier education and a top tier experience. Like, it words don't do it justice, man. Homecoming, I will be at homecoming this year. So all my Tennessee State folks, get ready, man. I'm coming. I'm coming home.
You know what's crazy? As you brought up the homecoming, I've never been to a homecoming at what's it called in Jefferson City, Lincoln.
Oh, for
I have
real?
not been, because every time I wanted to go, something always came up with that it was work related, or I was playing sports or something.
Look, let me tell you something. When you go to homecoming, if you go to Lincoln's homecoming, you're gonna be like, Nick Saban gonna start saying that people need to be banned from going to HBCU homecomings, because that's how they're gonna get into the recruiting game. Like,
Yeah.
you know, that's gonna be deemed illegal.
Man, it is truly an experience, and not just that day. Like, if you can be there for homecoming week, oh my God, it is truly a lovely experience, man. I have nothing but positive praises for HBCUs and the homecomings. It is every HBCU homecoming I've been to has been amazing. Everyone, I have yet to go to a homecoming and it hasn't lived up to the standard.
Ms. Williams brought up Nashville is a wonderful city, so warm and welcoming. I do agree. I've been there, very nice, and the area just really been booming ever since they, you know, built pretty much that whole downtown area has just been just redone and revitalized.
Oh yeah.
What do you say, T-Bone?
Said the traffic is kind of crazy. I had to be there in like a week or so, and I had to navigate through the traffic while I'm make sure I'm not getting there in the time where it's going to be rush hour traffic.
Then she said that her son went to a technical school over there. So shouts out to Ed. So going back now, because earlier you brought up in regards to coaching how you was pretty much inspired when you started going over to what school was that you said?
Oh, I went to Herbert Hoover.
Okay, Herbert Hoover, and then all of a sudden it's like boom, you found it.
Oh yeah.
Just give us more about what coaching means to you, and then also behind that with this new generation. Because I know things have changed dealing with kids from when you first started to to how it is now. So just give us more about what coaching means to you, and then how it is coaching this generation of kids now.
So originally, like, me being a younger coach, coaching was more so for me than the kids. You know what I mean? The kids gonna benefit from this expertise, this knowledge I'm gonna give you, but I'm trying to win as much as I can. You know what I mean? Coming into it. But in doing that, I definitely had to learn some lessons. And early on, I've coached at a number of different places, a bunch of different environments, and unfortunately, I've lost quite a number of players, to the streets, and I've been to way too many funerals, and coaching and seeing how you can positively impact somebody's life, and like it's so much bigger than football. Football is just a tool. You know what I mean? But you teaching so many different life lessons through this game. And I got for every kid that I have that, I couldn't help, it's 10, 20 kids that I have that can say, "Oh, Coach Mike, man, I remember, you took us up to Mizzou when I was 9, man. I'll never forget that." Or, "Coach Mike, man, I remember you took us out to that camp, man. You had us working out and we was doing all them heels, and they showed me like I could do it. I didn't think I could do it." And just little things, man. I've had kids that, didn't know if they were gonna eat, and just making sure that they got food at practice, before and after practice, and just really taking on that it takes a village to raise a child. You know what I mean? There are so many parents who struggle, single parents, whether it be single fathers, single mothers, that just don't have the answers. You know what I mean? It's no book to parenting. You know what I mean? It's no perfect handbook to show you the guidelines to be the perfect parent. You know what I mean? And every situation is different. And so, I was fortunate enough that I had a father and I had a stepfather. And, I had a mother and I had a stepmother. And I had grandparents and I had uncles and I had, family friends that were there to guide me and mentor me and to push me in the right direction. And, a lot of these kids don't have anybody.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So even just one person, just seeing one positive person in their life, you know what I mean? It's kids that I pick these kids up every day for practice, and they got two parents in the house, and they just don't invest in a child. They just don't, don't know, or just don't show the child, the proper love and affection that they need. You know what I mean? I got some kids that, we play in state championships, and they looking up and they don't have anybody in the stands looking to see them. You know what I mean? They don't have that support. Like some kids look up and they got mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, cousin, neighbor. You know what I mean? And then you got a kid that's busting his butt and nobody's there. You know what I mean? And to some kids, that's demoralizing. That's all that you need to quit. You know what I mean? And it's all the more reason to fight. You know what I mean? And then, you show kids through that. In that you learn that, anything worth having, worth fighting for, you gotta fight. And it's a process, and learn to, embrace the process, and find the good in it, find a silver lining. You know what I mean? It's so many people that look at life, half empty. And you really have so much to be grateful for. You know what I mean? Like I I try to live my life like that and push that to as many kids as I come across. That you got to be appreciative and be positive and just take what you do have and build upon that. If it's something that you don't have, work for it. It's nothing that's on this earth that you can't get if you work hard enough. And that's one of the things that I really push to my kids. Like, if you want something, don't let anybody tell you can't do it. Not even me. If I'm telling you you can't be a running back and you really feel like you want to be a running back, do whatever you feel like you need to do to be a running back. But if I'm telling you you're not a running back, you're probably not a running back.
Flat out.
But or whatever I got you at. But again, don't let me kill your dreams. You know what I mean? Because that's definitely not what I aspire to be. I like to speak life into everything and anything, and I feel like anything that I come across, if I'm gonna leave it better than I got it. You know what I mean? And that's with everything. That's how I live my life. From my business to coaching to with my children. So,
Has there been times throughout your coaching career that certain adversity or certain heartbreak over a certain kid situation uh weighed down on you to a point where you was like, man, I don't know if I keep doing this?
oh yeah, probably most recently, a kid I coached when I was coaching at Live for Life. We used to call him Blockhead. Man, this kid, it was nothing that he couldn't do on the football field. He was a state qualifier in wrestling. He was just a tremendous athlete. He played whatever we need him to. Linebacker, DB, D-line, quarterback, running back, receiver, whatever we needed, he could do it. And he was selfless. He never, made it about him. He was always about his teammates. And he ended up not going away to college. I don't remember what kept him home, but I know he ended up having a baby, and then he was a bus driver. And he just was a family man, and he was taking care of his family. And he maybe a week, maybe 2 weeks before he got killed, I had a conversation with him at Walgreens, and I was just telling him how proud I was of him, and how much I've seen how much he's matured, and he was being a father to his son, and he just didn't miss a beat. Like, some people would have laughed at the fact that he was a bus driver, but he was making an honest living. 19, 20 years old, driving a bus, and just doing whatever he needed to do to support his family. And I just had so much respect and admiration for him. And he just wrong place, wrong time. He was killed. His murder still unsolved. And it was just one of those things where, these young guys, they don't value life. And it's just heartbreaking, because this kid has so much potential, and I just know the type of man, the type of father. I just know he was gonna get into coaching, and that's a treasure that was taken away from our community. You know what I mean? I just know he was gonna impact so many lives, and it just, that's just one of the things that hurts, man. And I mean, it's one of those things where it makes you want to give it up. You know what I mean? Like, man, I can't keep doing this. But at the same time, it's motivation. It's like, man, I gotta keep doing it, because it's more kids like him. You know what I mean? And if I can, like I said, if I can just touch one kid, you know what I mean? If I can affect one, then I did my part.
Yeah, man, that's definitely a sad story right there. And we just hope that for those who's watching right now who have kids, or you kid yourself trying to get to the ranks, man, just smart choices, make smarter choices, decisions in your life. Listen to your coach, listen to your parents. And you brought up something earlier. It's very important to have a village.
Gotta have it.
Very important.
And I think that's one of the things, like, nowadays people are so quick to, don't say nothing to my kid, don't say nothing to my child. And that's one of the things with my little league. I won't coach the kid if I can't coach him like he's mine. You know what I mean? If you got a problem with the way I talk to them, how I handle them, then I'm probably not the coach for you, because at the end of the day, it's just certain things I'm not gonna accept. And I feel like, especially within our community, it's an uphill battle. You know what I mean? These kids gotta fight these. They gotta go over these obstacles that they can't even see, and they gotta deal with barriers that they don't even know are in front of them. And I just feel like uh, the more we can help each other and lean on each other and teach and just come together as a community, the better off we're gonna be. Because I mean, the young people are really in search of leadership, and I feel like that's something that's lacking. We don't have the big mamas like we used to. You know what I mean? And the big uncles not around like they used to be, and the guys that's my age. We gotta step up. We gotta carry the torch now, and it's our turn to leave our footprint on our community.
Facts. Miss Williams says a young man that she knows, uh, as she knew as he was growing up, wound up in jail because of some bad decisions. I still write to him from time to time, encouraging him. And she hopes that when he gets out, he can forge a better path. And that's all we can do. And there's so many people who are hard on themselves for someone else's mistakes or decisions because they feel like, man, I wish I would have done more. And if I could have did this, well, what I can say to that is God knows what you've been doing. You know what I'm saying? God knows that you put forth the effort. It's so much you can do, but still in regards to the other person to make that decision. But all we can do is continue just to be positive, stay prayed up, and be examples. And it's up to that individual to choose that route. But don't doubt yourself like you didn't do enough, or you could have done so much better. God knows and sees all. So don't hurt your not hurt yourself, but don't be hard on yourself if someone else hasn't made that decision. It's still up to them, but just continue to just show them the way the best that you can. So definitely shouts out to what you're doing in regards to the youth, because it's definitely needed. There's a village, excuse me, that's required, that's needed nowadays in life. So continue doing what you're doing, man.
Absolutely, I appreciate that.
Yeah, continue doing what you're doing. So with that being said, you founded the St. Louis High School All-Star Classic. You paid over $10,000 in scholarships to local student athletes. Where did it all come from? And shouts out to you for doing stuff like that.
Well, all the scholarship money came from Elite Detailing, located at 4269 Laclede.
Oh yeah, I've been there a few times back in the day.
So, 32 years in business, A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. So honestly, I started this as a senior project for a business marketing class. And my professor, who was a football guy, he told me if I could pull this off, I'll guarantee get an A if I could pull this event off. So the first event I did was in 2011, and it was at Kirkwood High School. And I mean, it was a spectacular event. Cost me a lot of money. I paid for a lesson, as my dad likes to say. I made a bunch of promises that I I had to deliver on, and some guys actually, one of the gentlemen, Keith Jones, he's actually coach at the University of Arkansas right now, was on my behind up until maybe 2018, and he caught me at a McClure playoff game. He was coaching at McClure North at the time. I was at St. Mary's. I was scouting for McClure, and he was like, "Man, what's up with that hoodie, man? You still owe me that hoodie?" And I went on ahead. I gave him $40, reimbursed him for his hoodie because I did not deliver, and that was like the my last payoff from that. We had a good 4-year run with the event. Really was. I tried to do too much, and I didn't have a team. I was one-handed. I was by myself, single-handed, and I tried to add a team the following years, but good help is hard to find. One of the guys that was very influential and he helped out a lot. Councilman Gary Johnson. he is a councilman in Jennings. He was former head coach at Lift for Life. He brought me in as assistant head coach. We did a great job bringing in college coaches and then just really putting on a good event. Kurt Leopold is another guy. Was a coach at Jennings. He's coaching down the Cardinal Ritter now. Carl Reed had a lot to do with the success of the event. My mentor, Lee Brown, coaching the first one. Robert Battle, who's the Jennings head coach now. I worked with a bunch of really good guys. And our best event was in 2012. And I really like to tell this story. It was a guy. So we did a couple different formats. So the main format we wanted to do was Missouri versus Illinois. And I wasn't able to pull it off the first year. So the second year I was able to pull it off, and it was really a top tier event. I feel like we had great talent from Illinois. We had a bunch of kids represented from a bunch of different schools. And then in Missouri, they put together an absolute powerhouse. And the game's still on YouTube. You can look it up. It's St. Louis High School All-Star Classic. I think the first game and the second game are on there. But the second game is the one that was the best one. It was at Gateway High School. So the first year was at Kirkwood. Second year was at Gateway. Third year was at Lindenwood Belleville. And then the fourth and final year we did it at Gateway again. And so I try to do 3 games. I try to do 2 high school games and a youth game. So the format was to get all the top tier guys in the Missouri versus Illinois. We would have another game for maybe like our D2, D3 guys and AI guys called the North-South game. Get those guys a chance to get some exposure. And then we had an 8th grade game, like the 8th grade Missouri versus Illinois game. So, like I said, 2012 was the best year, and it's a couple stories I like to tell. The kid that stands out the most is Michael Ford. He actually plays for the Atlanta Falcons now. He went to Alton Marquette. He sent me his highlight reel while I was meeting with the coaches for Team Illinois. And the first play on the highlight is a 110-yard interception return. And look at, man, y'all own it. Look at y'all. That's it right there, man. So he had a 110-yard interception return, and this kid is 5'11", maybe 180, maybe 170 coming out of high school, and he has 0 offers, right? So that what we're looking at right now is the first game. That's my boy Dalton Demos scoring the first touchdown, CBC alum. But tremendous talent in this game. I think that's Ray Harris, great running back from Zumwalt West. That's Trey Hill at quarterback. Great, I used to call him the fat quarterback, man. You spin that mug, man. Remind you of Jared Lorenzen, like 285 back there, spinning that thing. But I'm getting off track. Let me go back. So Mike Ford, he tells me he doesn't have any interest, wants to play in the game, but he's not thinking about playing college football because he just doesn't have an interest. So the practices were really what was like intense. So the practices, I got all the coaches to come out that were in town. And the good thing about it, I did it the first week in December, which was after the state championship. And that's like the first big recruiting week. So all the scouts are in and out through that week. So it worked out perfect. We had scouts at practice. We had scouts at the game. And SEMO saw the kid, and they were like, man, we like this kid. He not, nobody talking to him. And he like, I won't have anything. So set him up with SEMO. Kid ended up getting a scholarship to SEMO, plays at SEMO, has a great career at SEMO, gets drafted, played with Detroit for like 3 years. He was in Denver, now he's in Atlanta. You know what I mean? This is a kid that wasn't gonna play college football because he wasn't recruited, played in the All-Star game, and now he's in the NFL. You know what I mean? I love telling that story. There was a kid, Lattimore. I think it's like Montez maybe, went to Cleveland ROTC. Another kid, didn't really have any offers, no looks. Played crazy in the All-Star game. I think he had like 3 interceptions. Central Missouri offered him. He goes to Central Missouri, has a great career at Central Missouri. And it's just like, without that All-Star game, moments like that probably aren't possible. And, that's the reason I did it. And I had a kid, Keandre Bledsoe, kid from U City High School, great kid, tremendous talent. Had to go the JUCO route. End up winning MVP, and all the MVPs get $1,000 scholarship. And his scholarship was vital into his success. He needed that money. He was a little short. He got it. Did what he needed to do. JUCO, ended up going to Missouri Southern. Had a great career at Missouri Southern, and if I'm not mistaken, he has maybe 1 year left eligibility. He might be done now, but I try to keep up with as many of those kids as I can, and he's just another good one. Just great kid, come from a good family. Just needed a little help, and that's what I tried to do with the All-Star game. Just connect the dots and put kids in position to be successful.
So, bro, we talked about earlier some adversity that you had to go through, or that kids go through, that pretty much could have said, for you, what, I may have to go ahead and fall back for a while. Let's flip it around the other way. What would you say has been one of your proudest moments as a coach?
My proudest moment as a coach. So winning the state championship was big. That was huge. It's up there. That might be number one. I won a state championship. My son was on the team. He's a freshman. So, winning the state championship with my son is probably definitely one of my prouder moments. My first district championship at St. Mary's was big. I got to do it. Corey Bethany brought me in, mentored me. He's like a big brother to me. Anytime, I just need some words of wisdom, or I'm questioning something, or I just need to talk, he's always there to listen, providing with some great knowledge, great feedback. So, I definitely can appreciate that, and being able to win that first district championship with him. Robert Battles, like a brother of mine, Mike Muxo, Tony Woolfolk, Tony Woolfolk, Joe Divis, like that staff that we had together, Ryan Reynolds, Rayon Simmons, another CBC guy, he's on staff, Boog, Brian Laurie, Jamal Ritchie, like that staff that we had was really it's just really a brotherhood, and coaching with those guys, it's just something that I'll never forget. We definitely all kind of grew together. I feel like I grew up as a coach. I learned so much at my time there, and just things that I'm gonna keep with me coaching, forever. And it's little things that I took away from all those guys. They impacted me as a coach. So that's probably my winning the district championship is probably number 2. Number 1, the state championship, district championship 2, and then another one of my prouder moments, just seeing kids that would not have stuck it out. You know what I mean? Kids coming to me, and I got a bunch of kids every year that say that, Coach Mike, if it weren't for you, I probably wouldn't have played. Oh, you know what? I take that back. I can't even say a bunch of kids. It's one kid, another St. Mary's moment. This kid probably reminded me of myself more than any kid I've ever coached. His name was Cam Thompson, the hamster, a Dickey kid. And this kid, I really just, our relationship, I grew to love him. I saw so many characteristics of myself in the kid. He talked a lot, you know what I mean? He was round. Look, he played fullback and nose guard, but he was trying to play linebacker. I mean, he was like just all the same stuff. And his senior year, it was basically the same type of situation with me. If I would have played D tackle from the beginning, I definitely would have started all season and probably, had a bigger impact on my team. But I was selfish and I didn't want to do that. So I convinced him to go play guard. He was number 7. And I told him, you have to be 57. You have to put a 5 in front of that 7 because that's what we need. And when I say it was everything that we needed that year, he was a spark plug for us. I believe we lost in the district championship to Ladue. And that kid, that game, he really wasn't even supposed to play. He was hurt. He was banged up, but he gave us a different type of energy when he was in the lineup. And he was like a coach on the field. He saw the game. He just saw the game different. He was like I said, like a coach on the field. And after that last game, I was trying to get away from him, but he caught me. We embraced, and I just couldn't hold back. I'm tears are flowing. We both crying, and he told me, Coach Mike, if it wasn't for you, I definitely would have quit. I wouldn't have made it through. And he was just telling me thank you, and that was definitely one of the more rewarding moments of my coaching career. Actually, I'm gonna put that as number 1. That's number 1. That's definitely the most rewarding moment of my coaching career. That interaction with that young man. Still have a great relationship with him to this day. He's just a great young man, hardworking individual. He's in college. Just being a regular college student, living the college life, and just taking care of his responsibilities. And you can't ask for a better situation.
That's awesome. So, what led you to go to Lutheran St. Charles High School?
So, I was relieved of my duties at St. Mary's. I was let go. I used some profanity in the locker room, and that's a policy. You can't do that. And I was upset at the time, but in hindsight, you know what I mean. It was a learning experience, and it was something that needed to be had. I definitely grew from that. I learned from that experience, and I wanted to blame other people for that, but at the end of the day, I can't blame nobody but myself. You know what I mean? My actions ended my time down there, and it's of nobody's fault but my own. And so, me going out to Lutheran St. Charles, I've known Arlen for years. He's trained a couple of my kids, like he's trained my son. When I was down at Lift for Life, I used to take some of our running backs out there, do some training with them. So his coaching style I was familiar with. I definitely, have been a fan. And I had a bunch of different schools. I ain't gonna name drop, but I had a bunch of different schools coming after me. When I left St. Mary's, and one of the big things that I took away from Coach Harris, a lot of the coaches I talked to wanted me to come in so that they could get the kids that I was coaching at the time. I had a very, very competitive youth football team, and a lot of those kids are actually four kids off the team right now have Power 5 Division I offers, and they're going into their sophomore year. So very competitive team, but a lot of the coaches were talking to me about me getting kids to be a part of the program, and they weren't really talking to me about me and what I brought to the table as far as a coach and what my impact on the program would be. And Arlen didn't talk to me about anything but me as a coach and my impact on the team and the school. So that was one of the things that drew me to it. And then I went and I watched the practice, and I really felt like I was a missing piece. Like, I could really be an asset to the school and the football team. And once I decided that this was the right place to be, I believe that it held true. I was definitely an asset, and it's a beautiful marriage thus far.
That's what's up. And before we continue, I know T-Bone, you got to go ahead and go. You on the East Coast time right now, so I don't want to have the wife mad at you.
Yeah,
Oh
I'm,
man, we in trouble, T-Bone.
I don't want to get any hate messages or anything like that. So but it's been good hearing from you, hearing your story. It's always good having inspirational guests on here who are doing better in the community and leaving it better than when they first got there. So glad to hear your story. Smoooth, I'll be back next week, hopefully. And maybe some things will be changing around, so my time can be extended a little bit later. But
There you go.
Talk to y'all later. Enjoy it.
All right, bro.
Man, have a good one. All right. Once again, this is your Wednesday night Sports Delight, the platform sports talk show. As we wind things down, I am your boy Smoooth, and right over here,
Mike
we
Gerdine.
have, there it is, a special guest, Mike Gerdine. Great interview so far. Hope y'all have been enjoying it and hearing this man's story be told. Keep them shares going. Bring them comments. Don't be shy. That's why it's called the platform sports talk show. Give y'all a platform to go ahead and get y'all opinions and questions and everything out there. Any stories you want to go ahead and put out there, let's make it known where I got them on for the next few minutes. So, Lutheran St. Charles High School, what are you looking forward to in regards to the upcoming season?
So this season, I'm excited. We got a young group. We lost a lot of senior leadership, a lot of guys that, have been playing a lot of varsity football. Most of those guys have played varsity since their freshman year. And, they definitely have left a solid foundation. But, these guys we got coming in behind them, and we got some talent. We got probably 3-4 guys that'll play at the next level in our senior class, and our junior class is loaded. We got a bunch of top tier talent in our junior class, and our sophomores are nice, and then we got a decent looking freshman class. So I'm excited to see how we're gonna gel. We've been just doing some 7-on-7 and just working out, but the energy is great. I'm loving how the kids are responding to the coaching, and everybody is just coming in. It really feels like there's a new standard. You know what I mean? With us winning that state championship, it's like they can taste it. They know what that success feels like, and we trying to get back there again. That's definitely the goal. You know what I mean? State championship is definitely on the agenda, and we want to be the last team playing, in December.
What are some of the qualities that you're looking for when you see a young man approach the field and you're, scouting in regards to who should make the team and who may have missed the cut?
So I'm just big on effort. You know what I mean? I definitely feel like as a coaching staff, we can prepare you for whatever situation we need to prepare you for. You know what I mean? We got NFL, high level college. You know what I mean? We got a bunch of guys that just have a bunch of football knowledge, and we welcome we welcome the guys that are questioning or asking questions and wanting to get better. Coach, how do I get better, or what do I need to look for on this, or if I'm running and the field's open, like, should I break down, should I stop? Just things that we look for guys that want to get better. You know what I mean? And guys that are always trying to continue to be the best version of themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely, looking for high character kids. We before me, guys that are looking to pick guys up instead of beat them down. You know what I mean? We one of the things we say a lot is pull as you climb. You know what I mean? We want to get to the top, but we don't want to be up there by ourselves. You know what I mean? We only as strong as our weakest link, and if we can get everybody to buy in and get everybody on the same page, we'll always have success.
How does it feel when you see people showing you love, like Kevin Smith saying that you're a great coach?
Oh, that's my guy, man. Twin, you know, I appreciate it, man. And it's you know, it's hard for me to I'm not gonna say accept the praise, you know what I mean, but I definitely I'm humble, you know what I mean. At the same time, I talk a lot, but I don't usually talk unless I'm provoked, you know what I mean. So I don't just I don't just come out from the gate just talking, you know. I usually feel the situation out. Now if it's some talkers, you know, that's my type of time, but I'm definitely not one of those guys that's just, you know, talking just to talk. You know what I mean? If I'm saying something, it's got some substance behind it. And you know, I just really really try to push that competitive nature. And you know, whenever I'm around, I just want guys to maximize their potential.
That's what's up. So, what led to you coaching track?
Okay, so
Oh, you got a story. Uh-oh.
so the track coach, the head track coach, used to coach football, and then he had a baby, and he had to go be a dad. He couldn't be on the football field as much. So when track came around, he basically, well, I joked and said it at first. I'm like, man, you know, if you need somebody, you know, I was a sprinter in high school. And he was like, no, seriously, I do need another coach. And I'm like, all right, well, you know, it's not a problem. And I wanted to encourage the football guys to come out and run. So I believe the track team had 45 athletes last year. And I kind of forced some guys' hands, you know what I mean? Made some guys come out. But we started the season about 90 athletes. And then we were able to take 13 to state. So it was definitely a good experience, and it was a learning experience. I learned a lot. I did not know that track was as intense as it is. It is definitely a lot more intense than I remember. You know, like I said, when I was in high school, I was, you know, holding blocks and cracking jokes, and you know, walking around talking to people. And you know, when you're a coach, you got to make sure that the kids are where they're supposed to be. And I'm running with the kids and telling them to speed up and slow down and making sure we got batons. And it was truly an experience. It was truly an experience. And I was grateful for it. And I'm really, I don't think I'll not coach track anymore.
Oh, wow. And I mean, I can see why, you know, you would be like, man, I ain't think it was that intense. But you think about track, it's like, you know, outside of like doing 4x100 and stuff like that, but it's that personal pride. Like, I don't want to have this person beat me, you know.
Absolutely. And then it's one of those things where I think people get track confused. You know, it's like, oh, you competing against another person. Nah, in track, you competing against the clock.
Right.
It really has nothing to do with the person in the lane next to you. Like, either you fast or you're not. And and that's just one of those things. Like, you know, it's so many different factors that go into running fast. And in Missouri, weather is huge. You know what I mean? And we didn't really get any decent weather until like May. So, you know, guys are kind of discouraged. They're not running as fast a time as they feel like they can. And they feel like, you know, they not they're not seeing the fruits of their labor. You know, I'm doing all this work, coach, and you're telling me, you know, trust the process, and my numbers not reflecting, but it's just so many different variables. And then, you know, we get down to districts and we just come out and we're blazing, and it's really, oh man, I get sick to my stomach thinking about it, because I was coaching relays, and we had the fastest 4x1 time in the state.
Mm.
In the state, and we ran out of the exchange zone at districts. So it just, oh man. And then to lose the state championship by 3 points, and to know
Wow.
that at very least we would have had those points with the 4x1. It just,
So,
oh
right.
man, it's rough. It's rough. But the future's bright. We lost some of our distance guys, but most of our sprinters are back intact, and then we got a very, very strong distance group coming up. I don't think they're as strong as the two that we had, but they're definitely super competitive, and I love that about those guys. They're winners. They placed fourth in cross country as a team, and then to come back to get second in track. I know they're coming back, trying to get some more hardware in cross country. So, come next track season, we definitely on the same type of time. We're trying to, better it. They got fourth last year. We got second this year. So, trying to get that number one spot.
Right. Keep it on. Miss Williams says a coworker of hers still runs triathlons and he's 60 years
Oh, wow.
old.
That's amazing.
Sure is, man. He a good one.
So
He's definitely a good one. Fatherhood. I know that means so much to you. That's the reason why that she had to put you back on, like you said before, being a comedian. Just tell me and tell us how much fatherhood means to you and how you're able to now pretty much work around between fatherhood and being a track coach or being a football coach right now.
Well, I mean, that's really how I ended up coaching track, because I made my son run, and then I knew that he was gonna try to get out of it if I wasn't there. So he actually he tried out for the golf team as well. So he plays golf, and we had to pick a primary, and it just looked like the upside was higher in track than golf this year. So we went with track this year, and he did well for his first year really running track, and he experienced a little success. He definitely had some trials and tribulations. He had to come out his first time running the 800. He came out like a bat out of hell, and he was on pace to run like a 154. He would have broke the school record, but if you know anything about track, it's 2 laps.
Mm-hmm.
He did good for about 1.25, and then that monkey jumped on his back. He just ain't had nothing left. So
Hey,
that was a learning experience for him, and he learned that he definitely had to run it different.
right.
And the next couple times they ran, he ran great. He PR'd, and he finished the season definitely on a high note. And I think that's something to build upon going into next year, and his confidence is going to be a lot higher. And that was just more bonding opportunities for us. And then my daughter asked me to sign her up for track after being at one of our high school track meets.
Mm.
But then when I signed her up, she decided she wasn't really about that life. I don't believe in quitters, so I didn't let her quit. But her mom, with me coaching, it was a struggle for me to get her to practice, and her mom kind of let her ease her way out of that one. So she didn't finish the track season, but we're definitely we're gonna take that steam and roll that right into basketball for her. She said she wants to try basketball, so I'll probably end up coaching girls basketball next, and that'll be my next venture. But my kids are everything, and anything that I can do to spend more time with them, to be around them, just be involved in anything they got going on, I'm all for it.
Miss Williams asked, do any of the track athletes also play soccer? It also requires endurance.
Yeah, we got a couple soccer players. I actually need a couple more. Them soccer players are fast. And one thing I learned, though, they fast, but they don't like to run. So track didn't really fit, But it's some guys. We also, we had a state championship soccer team as well. So it's some guys that I'm trying to get to come out and bring that championship pedigree over, and we keep this championship train rolling.
That's what's up, man. This once again has been a great interview with special guest Mike Gerdine. This is the Platform Sports Talk Show. Mike, what's next for you, man?
We got football. I'm coaching. Football season. We into the swing of things. I'm coaching. Like I said, Lutheran St. Charles, and then I'm coaching with the 12U St. Louis Elite. I think we rank 3rd or 4th in the country right now for 12U football. So I'll be doing some traveling with those guys. I'm an offensive coordinator, and just a tremendous group of young talent, and they hungry, and we're gonna try to win a national championship on the youth level.
That's awesome. And lastly, any special shout outs?
Man, I'm gonna shout you out, bro. I appreciate you bringing me on, man. And like you said, give me my flowers, man. I really appreciate that. And a lot of times, we do this selfless stuff, and it goes unnoticed. So for you to notice that, I really appreciate it, man. And I'm gonna shout out my whole staff out there at Lutheran. Coach Harris, Coach Mays, my boy Turk. Coach Bethany, my AD, probably the best AD in the area. I don't know if the Post-Dispatch put out the small school of the year, but we definitely should be the small school of the year. State championship in track, state championship in soccer. I mean, second in track, state championship in football, state championship in track. I mean, I said track again. Should have won. State championship in soccer. 4th place in cross country. We definitely building a tradition of excellence out here. Lutheran hasn't traditionally been known for being a powerhouse in athletics, but we definitely, we trying to change that narrative. I think we changed it, honestly. Basketball, girls basketball, they're getting more competitive. Wrestling, our golf team placed at state, I believe. So, we're trying to bring these plaques home all across the board.
Hey, love it, man, and thank you for the love. And it's definitely been a pleasure, to have you on the show. That's what it's all about, man. I just want to give people their just due, and I hope that this show has done justice, that people can look at this show down the road and be able to look back and say, man, Mike spit some knowledge and providing inspiration for myself and for others, man. So I definitely appreciate you being on the show.
Absolutely, man. Thank you. And let me. I forgot this. I can't believe I forgot. My niece turned 30 today.
Hey,
Niece Leslie Lloyd. She's beautiful, intelligent. She's doing her thing. She's got a lot going on. She's a personal trainer, follower, billionaire body. She just dropped some shoes in collaboration with my nephew Robbie Bands. Shout out to them. My sister doing her thing down in Texas. Iris Gerdine with the Witherspoon Law Group. If you get in an accident, give her a call. She can take care of you. Shout out to my dad, West End Chiropractic. Need your back crack, go holler at him. He'll take care of you. And I think that's it, man. My shout outs. I'm gonna leave it at that.
Miss Williams says happy birthday to her. So that's what's up.
Thank you.
And once again, for everyone, thank you all for tuning in to the Platform Sports Talk Show. Mike, do me a favor. Just stay on. I'm going to go ahead and exit the show, and then you just stay on. We'll do a quick little post-show talk if you don't mind.
That's cool. I got you.
All right. So once again, everyone, this is your Wednesday night Sports Delight, the Platform Sports Talk Show. Hope y'all have enjoyed everything. Don't forget, once again, give us a follow on Facebook, on Twitter, on YouTube. Subscribe, click on that bell so anytime we go live, you will be notified. We also on Roku. It will be uploaded right after the show is over with. You can also check us out, listen to us from 7 to 9 p.m. Central Standard Time on Hot 365 Radio. Don't forget, the Man Cave goes down in 2 more weeks, every last Wednesday of the month. And of course, the first Wednesday of the month, you have Ladies Night. So once again, thank you all for tuning in. Check us out next week. We have another special guest in store for you. a legend in the Lou will be on the show, so definitely stay tuned. I'm your boy Smooth, the Platform Sports Talk Show. Shouts out to Bunny, shouts out to Joe, to T-Bone. Thank y'all very much. Stan, shouts out to you. Look forward to seeing you on the Man Cave. Everyone, have a wonderful night. It's your boy Smooth, Mr. Jack of all trades. Book me right now, smoothproductions.com, as you see there. Smooth, 3 O's and Smooth. And with that, I'm out, y'all. Peace.